that ball well to right field. It is
Adios,
high,
amigo.
It is far, and it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris crushed that one.
A long drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees.
It's from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the DeCouta Cavaliers.
That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Harbor Hawks Baseball Network coming to you from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts for tonight's game between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Falmouth Commodores. We're just moments away from first pitch. Lincoln Revill and Austin DeCouta coming to you for tonight's broadcast. And before we get to National Anthem, we're going to toss it over to our silent reporter, Taylor Farmer. Taylor, what do you have for us first off?
Tonight. You know, after a few losses, I think the team's ready to get a win tonight. Their spirits seem high, and I think it'll be a fun one to watch.
Thank you very much, Taylor. And we're just about ready to get underway as the National Anthem is set to go here in just a few seconds. We're going to take a little break. We'll be right back on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
It is
Adios.
And it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris. He hits that ball well to right field. It is
Adios,
high,
amigo.
It is far, and it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris crushed that one.
A long drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees.
It's from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the DeCouta Cavaliers.
That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Once again, Harbor Hawks Baseball Network coming to you from Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta. And Austin, it's been a tough past few games for the Harbor Hawks here. They're looking to bounce back against a Falmouth Commodores team who we have yet to beat this season.
Yeah, Lincoln, the Harbor Hawks in the midst of an 6-game losing streak to this point, struggling a bit to get everything going at the same time. We saw the bats pick up a little bit earlier in the week, and DeCouta with 5 runs coming across the plate. And we did score against this Commodore team earlier in the week. Pujols hit that 3-run home run to get 5 runs against them, but the HarborHawks pitching has yet to really settle in. But we're here deep into week 2, and I think things are going to start to turn around in a little bit.
We're just moments away from first pitch, but first we're going to get to the starting lineups. First off, for the visiting Hyannis HarborHawks, Austin, what is that lineup looking like for the HarborHawks tonight?
Yeah, per usual, Caden Rose is in the leadoff spot. He's playing center field today. In the 2-hole is Kyle Ball, the shortstop. Batting third is Luke Mann. He's at third base today. Batting cleanup is Zane Harris, the first baseman. Batting in the 5-hole is Mitch Hardigan, the left fielder. Batting 6, Marcos Pujols, the DH. Batting 7, Dom Johnson, playing right field. Batting 8, the catcher Adam Hackenberg, who had a 3-hit performance earlier this season in his last start against Katuitt at Katuitt earlier in the week. And Mariano Ricciardi gets the start and the 9-hole and playing second base with Hunter Dula on the mound, making his second start of the season, his first since his last outing in Harwich.
Very talented lineup there for the HarborHawks, and we actually have a couple of changes for the Commodores lineup, but I'll go through that as best I can. Cody Colden, that is going to start us off playing at shortstop. Michael Curiali batting the 2-hole, playing second, followed by Braden Taylor. Jake DeCouta, the third baseman, batting in the cleanup spot, followed by Jace Borfin. And Alex Sayer, last second change, moving up to the 6-hole. And Bryson, we are trying to figure out who's going to be in that 7-hole spot. Bryson Ware, first baseman, batting in the 8-hole. And then Anthony Hall, the center fielder, is going to be bringing up the rear in the 9-hole. And on the mound for the Commodores here tonight is going to be Mitchell Stone. As he's just about ready to go, the southpaw brings home the first pitch, and that is fouled off from Caden Rose, and we're underway. 0-1 now the count.
Stone making his second start of the season for the Commodores. He's 6'9", a massive, imposing figure on the mound. In that first start, Lincoln went 3 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, and punched out 2. HarborHawks looking to get to him early.
He already has a 0-2 count up on Caden Rose, and with that 6'9" frame, a little bit of a cheat code as he's going to be able to reach out quite a ways down that mound and really cut the distance between the rubber and the dish. As that one's fouled off, brings count still to 0-2. And here's the pitch. A little bit down low, ball 1. Rose, in 2 games against the Commodores, a combined 3 for 9. So far in 2 losses to the Commodores.
Yeah, a couple hits last night, including a double. He's really swinging the bat well as we move deep into week 2.
2-2 now the count after that ball misses the plate. Rose at the University of Alabama as the 2-2 comes in. Called strike 3. Rose goes down looking to start us off here as Kyle Ball is now coming up to the plate.
Tough pitch there with 2 strikes on the outside corner, a little bit of a backdoor breaking ball. So unfortunately, Rose goes down looking, but Kyle Ball, another guy with 2 hits last night, including a double. Him and Rose were on base often, so it's good to see him back in the 2-hole once again, looking to continue that success from last night.
Ball with a couple of hits last night, hitless against the Commodores so far, as he's a combined 0 for 7 in 2 starts against the Commodores. Count goes to 0-1 now as Stone from the windup brings home the 0-1. A little bit of a breaking ball, 80 miles an hour on the pitch, misses for ball 1.
Good movement, just a little bit low in the zone, but a nice differentiation between the fastball and the breaking ball.
Stone with the 1-1. Misses just a bit high, brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike now. Ball in the right-handed box as the 2-1 is fouled off. That's going to head out of play.
Off towards the police station. Gov Fuller Field here, Lincoln. A little bit shorter dimensions. It's no signage on the fence, but we've been told about 320 to each foul pole. Looks a little bit more like 310, according to some of the hitters, too, in BP.
It is a small field, very
open, too. The bleachers down the right field line. There's no fence all the way down. Very close to the action.
And that 3-2 misses down low. That is ball 4. Kyle Ball reaches base, the first base runner of the game, as he draws a walk on that full count pitch.
Good at bat there by Ball. He sees a lot of pitches in that 2-hole, and the important thing is for him to get on base to set the table for the 3, 4, 5. So if they can start to string together some hits, the Harbor Hawks are going to be in good shape. That's the 7th walk on the year for Kyle Ball. Does a terrific job getting on base.
And now Luke Mann at the plate. Mann is going to be at third base in tonight's game. He's in the left-handed box. He watches that one go by. That is strike one. This is Mann's first appearance against the Commodores this season. No, second actually. He went 2 for 3 in that game number 2 against the Commodores.
Yeah, he played really well in that 8-5 loss for Hyannis, and it's not only the bat but the glove. We talked about it time in, time out, and he's just almost an automatic out over at third base. Continues to make every play sent his way. And when his bat starts to pick up, too, that's just a dominant two-way player.
And that 8-5 loss, Mann ended up reaching home one time on a pair of singles as he went 2 for 3 that night. And Kyle Ball now at second base after that little break from play as we were.
Stolen base there by Ball. Got good speed at the shortstop position in the 2-hole. Good to see the top of the order moving on the base pass.
Mann now with a 1-2 count.
Second stolen base on the year for Ball. He's been caught once. Good to see the Stetson shortstop get running.
Stone with a long look over at second. Kicks. Comes home. Called strike 3. The second backward strikeout for Stone, as that's now 2 away here in the opening first inning.
Tough pitch on the outside corner. You're getting an early visual or audio here on the away broadcast, but for us a visual of what that strike zone is going to look like the rest of the game. It seems like the outside corners are available and they're going to be called often.
Yeah, that outside corner has been hard to find in a few games for the Harbor Hawks so far this season, but tonight it seems like it'll be pretty easy to find that line. As with 2 away, Zane Harris steps to the plate. Harris at first base tonight.
Harris is a terrific hitter at the dish. Got a lot of power to that right side as well. Seen a couple doubles down that right field line, a home run. And you got good speed on second, so you're just looking to put a ball in play here to try to get ball home.
Harris in the left-handed box. As that one misses down low. Harris, his only home run of the season, actually coming against Falmouth. The first time that we faced the Commodores, as he went 2 for 4 that night with a home run and a double.
Stone can be very tough on left-handed hitters with that breaking pitch that moves away from the lefties, and the Harbor Hawks do have 5 left-handed hitters in the lineup. It's Mann, Harris, Harding, and Poolhouse, 4 in a row, and then Ricciardi in the 9-hole. So Harris at second out of 4 straight lefties. We're going to have to deal with that pretty solid breaking ball.
Here's the 2-0. Lofted over towards left field, and that's going to head out of play. That hit off of something out there. Not sure exactly what it went off of. Very open seating here at Gov Fuller Field, as Austin mentioned earlier. No netting around the entire ballpark. Very interesting thing to see.
Going to be alert in the stands tonight.
Yeah, we actually got told earlier before tonight's game that during that rainout day, whenever we were playing the Brewster Whitecaps, the Commodores playing here actually had a few thrown bats that went into the crowd and almost hit a few people, but
slippery conditions. But yeah, the netting is definitely a big help when that comes into effect, but unfortunately here no netting. But
the 3-1 misses up high. That is walk number 2 for Stone in this inning, as Harris now reaches first, and there's runners on first and second for Mitch Hardigan.
Little pattern developing here, a strikeout looking, a walk, a strikeout looking, a walk now. So let's hope Hardigan can break the pattern, because if things continue, he'd be due for a strikeout looking, but not what we'd like to see. Hardigan had a single in last night's ball game as well. And Lincoln, he's been really picking up his bat a little bit lately, some solid contact coming from the outfielder.
Hardigan played against that game number 2 against the Commodores, as this is our 3rd time facing Falmouth this season. Ended 0 for 4 with a ground out, a fly out, and a pair of strikeouts as well. The 0-1 misses outside. 1-1 now the count. Hardigan out in left for the Harborhawks here tonight.
Great take by Hardigan, a breaking ball that he started on the middle of the plate that broke into the right-handed batter's box, and that's a pitch that you need to lay off, and Hardigan does just that.
Hardigan here from Florida Atlantic University. As Stone turns towards second base, no throw. This ball returns safely, nobody there to get the throw. Hardigan batting 179 on the year as he hits that one back up the middle. That's through for a base hit, and that's going to be ball rounding third, heading for home, and that gets past Hall out in center. And Harris is now heading over to third, and runners back on the corners, and the Harborhawks with an early lead as ball comes in from second.
That's exactly what Hyannis needed in this ball game. You're in the middle of a losing streak. It's important to get up early in a ball game and not have to play from behind. Good RBI single there by Hardigan. And now you're still in business with Pujols swinging a solid bat lately.
And that was that run, the first inning run that the Harborhawks have had in quite a few games, dating back to game number 1 against the Commodores back on June 25th.
Good to see him scoring early. Pujols looking to continue that. Lincoln, they're giving him a lot of room down that right field line if he can pull something.
Pujols tries to check his swing. Called strike anyway. Count goes to 0-1. Pujols in the DH spot. We've seen him at first a few times, along with Harris, who's there tonight, and then Mason Greer, who is not in the starting lineup tonight. 1 throw to first. No tag there as Hardigan back easily. Count now goes to 0-1 with 2 away. Runners on first and third. Again, that's Harris over at third, Hardigan at first. The 0-1 misses a bit high. Good eye there from Pujols as that evens the count now. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Pujols, his big night of the season so far, his only home run of the season coming against Falmouth. The last time we faced the Commodores at Judy Walden Scarafile Field, as he went 2 for 3 with a ground out, a single, and a home run.
Yeah, the 3-run homer to right field, his power side of the ballpark, and good to see him getting on the board.
2-1 pitch swung on and missed. Pujols couldn't find it. Brings the count to 2-2 now with 2 away. And my hat's too far out of reach for this one. It'll have to wait until later. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the corners. I'll shake an air hat here. Here's the tiebreaker. Ripped back up the middle. That's going to drop for a base hit. Harris is going to come in to score, as that is Hardigan rounding third. He's going to come home as well. The throw coming in from left is not in time. That's 2 more runs across for the Harborhawks, as they now lead 3-0 here in the top of the first. And Austin, after a rough few games where runs early on in the game have been hard to come by, a very quick start for the Harborhawks here tonight.
It was only a matter of time before the offense broke out, and they were threatening the last couple of games. They had 7 hits last night to get to its 8, but there was a run differential, 8-1, and Lincoln, we've talked about it. At some point, they were going to string together some hits, and they've done just that. And now Pujols adds 2 RBI with the single. Great piece of hitting there to drive it back up the middle for the single.
And the most runs in the opening inning for the Harborhawks this season, 3 runs in the opening inning, as now Dominic Johnson digs into the right-handed box. He's going to be in left field for the Harborhawks tonight.
He's played all 3 outfield positions, left, center, and right.
And Johnson now with a 1-1 count. I do apologize. Johnson is actually in right field tonight. Started out as a 7, but then turned into a little bit of a last-second loop there for the 9-hole spot. So now count it 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away. Pitch comes in from Stone. That one misses outside, 3-1 the count.
Good count here for Johnson to get a fastball. You just saw him miss with a breaking ball. If he can time up that fastball, the Harbor Hawks could be in business even further in this inning than they already are.
And Mitchell Stone, formerly one of the 2 Stones, as the fellow Stone, Adam Stone. I'm not seeing Adam in this roster for Falmouth, as Adam was actually the pitcher that the Harbor Hawks faced the last time the Commodores were in town.
Ooh, heads up.
And that one, a dangerous foul ball hit into the crowd. Looks like nobody got hurt. Some people had to duck out of the way there.
Just behind the fastball a bit. Solid line drive contact, but got to be alert over on that first base side.
Count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stone has his sign from French. Here's the 3-2. That's lofted out towards left field, and that's going to be Borfin ranging back, and that's going to drop at the wall. And Pujols going to come in to score, and that's going to be Johnson heading into third with an RBI triple. And another run comes in for the Harbor Hawks. We now lead 4-0 here in the top of the first.
Great piece of hitting by Dom Johnson to go the opposite way to right center field. Brings home Pujols, who is off on the pitch with the full count, and that's the benefit of having the 3-2 runner moving, as Pujols is able to come all the way around from first. And now Johnson stands 90 feet away, which will prompt a mound visit.
An explosive first inning here for the Harbor Hawks, and really after the past few games, this is exactly the kind of break that we've been looking for. And a bit of a 2-out rally, as it's been mentioned to us earlier, after that strikeout, walk, 3 straight hits coming from the Harbor Hawks, a pair of singles and a triple. And Adam Hackenberg now at the plate as the mound visit continues. We just got word of the little lineup situation for the Commodores, as they'll be coming up in the bottom of the first. French is actually out behind the plate, and in for him is going to be Taylor Smith, and he'll be batting in the 7th hole. And Alex Sayer now in the 6th hole in place of Jonathan French. And French out of the lineup tonight, they're going to be missing his bat tonight, I think, as French has been explosive against the Harbor Hawks for the past 2 games.
Yeah, he was announced in the starting lineup but replaced Lincoln, and he has 2 homers in 2 games against Hyannis, and I think they're going to be happy they don't have to see French tonight. But the other Clemson catcher on the field, Hackenberg, had 3 hits in his last game, so he's swinging a hot bat.
Yeah, Hackenberg in his last name against the Catuit Kettleers, and did 3 for 5 with a strikeout, a lineout, and he singled thrice in that game. As the count now at 0-2 with 2 away, with Ricciardi, or excuse me, that's Johnson over at third, Ricciardi on deck now, as the Harbor Hawks have almost hit through their lineup very early in this game. The 0-2 fouled off. Good battle from Hackenberg as he stays alive. That foul ball hit straight back to the only big cover that's at Gov Fuller Field, just blocking the press box.
Yeah, your typical backstop, but Lincoln, besides the backstop, there's not really much other netting here.
Yeah, there's not. There's the small fence around to the dugout, as that one ripped over to first, and that's where making the grab for out number 3, and the top of the first comes to an end, but not before the Harbor Hawks take a commanding 4-0 lead heading to the bottom of the first. You're watching the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. back for the bottom half of the first inning. The Harbor Hawks Baseball Network coming to you. Austin DeCouta alongside myself, Lincoln Revill, here for the bottom half of the first. And the Falmouth Commodores getting their first set of at-bats here tonight as Cody Colden is going to start us off. Michael Curiali in the 2-hole, and Braden Taylor is going to be in the hole to start us off here tonight. On the mound for the Harbor Hawks is going to be Hunter Dula, as this first pitch is an attempted bunt down the third base line, picked up by Hackenberg as that ends up going foul. Count goes to 0-1.
Would have worked if he had got it just 6 inches more inside the third base line, but unfortunately for Colden, he's going to have to come back and start again. Good idea, though. Like the thought there, trying to lay one down to start the ball game. You're chasing 4, you need a base runner early on. And it's the Commodores chasing tonight. They were able to get 5 off the Harbor Hawks back at home earlier in the week in the first inning, but Hyannis strikes for 4 first tonight.
Yeah, almost a complete turnaround and exactly the start that you would want from the Harbor Hawks, especially in this game, as the 0-1 drops a little low for ball 1. Dula coming to us from Wingate University, as we've seen him a familiar face for the Harbor Hawks. We've seen him once against Harwich, as that one is fouled off. Brings count to 1-2.
Dula was solid in the outing. He's had a solid college career as well, and looking to continue that success throughout the rest of the Cape season. He has a good fastball around 92 miles per hour.
Dula in his last appearance against the Mariners ended with 3 innings pitched, only 1 hit given up, 1 walk, and he fanned 4 in that outing. Quite a debut for the righty, as the count now stays at 1-2 after that ball fouled off.
Yeah, the Harbor Hawks in their road jerseys today, the blue with the orange lettering, white pants. Dula pitched in these uniforms once already. Now, I know some pitchers are picky about their uniforms. I mean, they don't have to deal with it here in the Cape League. They don't really have much of a say, but I remember Chris Sale back a couple years ago when he was with the White Sox. They told him he was pitching in the throwbacks, and in order to not pitch in the throwbacks, he cut up the jerseys.
Wow.
So that he didn't have to pitch. Oh, they didn't have to use the jerseys. So he was suspended by the team, but Dula in the same uniform again. Some guys get comfortable in a certain shirt or a jersey. I mean, maybe it's a little bit of a superstition, but
yeah, with only two usual sets of jerseys, you don't really have much say in what your home and away jersey is.
Right. MLB level, you can get a little picky.
Yeah. And I think at that level, doesn't the for the most part, doesn't the starting pitcher get to choose the jerseys that they wear?
They typically do. I know, like, the Phillies do Throwback Thursday, so if they're home and they're in the powder blue, either way. But I'm sure if somebody said, you know, I hate pitching in these uniforms, they could change it.
This one, a hot shot over to first, picked off by Harris, as he didn't have to move at all to make that grab. He just had to stay where he was, pick that ball out of the air, and that is out number 1 as Colden goes down to 0 for 1 on the night.
Well, that's the game of baseball. The well-hit ball just a little late on the fastball, but Zane Harris is right there. And if he's 2 feet to the left, 2 feet to the right, it's a base hit. But unfortunately for Colden, just goes down as a line out to first.
Now with 1 away, Michael Curiali at the plate as he fouls that one off for the 0-1 count.
Speaking of Chris Sale, Red Sox fans should get excited. He threw a bullpen today, returning from that Tommy John surgery soon. He done with the Woo Sox out in Worcester, hometown of Mariano Ricciardi here in the Harbor Hawks, who's at second base today. But Chris Sale on his way back.
Misses for ball 1, brings out even at 1-1. Pitch from Dula misses a little bit low. Brings count 2 balls and 1 strike. Just a reminder to everybody listening that we are an audio-only broadcast on away games. Now our next home game on July 4th will be with video, but for now we're just going to be audio for the next couple of games, as this one lofted towards right center field, and that's going to be Rose settling under it for out number 2. And 2 up, 2 down now with Braden Taylor stepping up to the plate.
Good job by Hunter Dula to wear down Curiali. Good mix of pitches, and continues to work on the inner half of the plate and not let the hitters get their hands extended, which is very important because once they get that barrel out in front, it can be a dangerous Commodore lineup.
Braden Taylor, the DH, now at the plate. He's in the left-handed box as this first pitch bounced in the dirt, gets past Hackenberg as he tries to get in front of that one, but it just bounces over that arm of his. Count now goes to 1 ball, no strikes, with 2 away. Nobody on, in the Harbor Hawks leading 4-0 here in the bottom of the first.
Great location there, Lincoln. 93 miles per hour on the gun, and he's got the fastball really working here early on.
Yeah, and that fastball at 93, as you mentioned, finding the border of the zone on the outside part. The outside part of that plate, as you mentioned earlier, really active from the home plate umpire, Brandon Johnson.
No Sparky Burns tonight?
No Sparky, sadly.
Darn it.
Yeah, waiting to have our old pal Sparky back in the umpire lineup. As the 2-1 finds the outside of the zone once again, brings the count now to 2-2.
It's peppering the fastball early on, picking the inside corner, outside corner, mixing his spots, and Dula's really able to locate it. See where he goes on 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Dula with the pitch. Breaking ball, missed in the dirt. Count now full, 3-2.
Good breaking ball. He just started it a little bit too low. Taylor thought about it, but the bat left his shoulder for a brief second, and Dula starts out a little bit higher. Maybe at the knee he can get a swing. Started it too low at the shin. 3-2, got another shot at it here.
Dula in his glove. Here's the payoff. Called strike 3 at the knees on the inside. 3 up, 3 down for the Harbor Hawks in the bottom of the first, that is, as we head to the second. Harbor Hawks with a 4-0 lead on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. Top of the second, coming up on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Mariano Ricciardi set to begin this second inning of play, the 9-hole hitter, as the Harbor Hawks almost went completely through their lineup in that first inning, as Ricciardi rose and ball. The next 3 up, Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta here for tonight's matchup against the Falmouth Commodores, as Mitchell Stone back on the bump for the Commodores here tonight, as that first pitch is fouled off from Ricciardi for strike 1. Count goes to 0-1 with nobody out.
And an impressive first inning for the Harbor Hawks bats as they break free from that little slump they've been in to get runs across the plate. 4 runs in 1 inning on 3 hits, Lincoln, and it's a positive sign for Harbor Hawk fans and the team. And talking with Mariano Ricciardi, who's at the plate before the game, and this week, he said even if he's swinging the bat well, it's hard to get excited because the team as a whole, is struggling a bit. So he's, you're more concerned, and so is Mariano, with the team success than individual success. Like he said, doesn't matter what I'm doing, but it's got to be as a team. We got to start picking the bats up as a whole. He's excited to, get this lineup going.
Very well said there from Mariano, as the next 2 pitches after going down 0-2 end up almost hitting him, as that misses up and in for ball 2. As Stone brings it home, swing and a miss. Ricciardi goes down swinging for out number 1, with Rose back at the plate, and we've gone around the Harbor Hawk lineup once already.
It's a good fastball there on the inside part of the plate. Tough for the left-hander to get the barrel out in front on it. Stone's got good velocity on the fastball up near 90.
Rose now 0 for 1 on the day as he rips that one. Pass short for a base hit, past the diving Colden. He's now 1 for 2 as Rose reaches first with Ball stepping to the plate now.
Yeah, got a first pitch fastball, and Rose was ready for it. He just drives it back where it came from. Hard hit, loud contact too, and that's going to put a speedy runner on first base.
Yeah, as we've mentioned a couple of times this season, being able to attack that first pitch if it's in the zone, such an important pitch, as most likely the pitcher is looking to get ahead in that count, and he'll put it where you can hit it.
Got a good feeling Caden Rose is going to try to steal second at some point during this at-bat for Kyle Ball. He's 2 for 3 on stolen base attempts on the season. We saw Kyle Ball steal a base in the first, so you know you can get a good jump on Stone.
One and one now the count as Ball in the right-handed box. Stone with his 50th pitch coming up. As the 1-1 comes in, that's hit over towards second. Curiali going to toss that over for one. Over to first is in time. A 4-6-3 double play to get Rose and Ball. As Luke Mann, actually that's going to end the top of the second. We're going to head over to the bottom half of the second here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Bottom half of the second, Harbor Hawks leading the Falmouth Commodores 4-0 midway through 2 at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth, Massachusetts. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta here for the bottom half of the second inning. Jake DeCouta get followed by Jace Borfin and Alex Sayer, the next three up for the Commodores. As back in the bottom of the first, they went down quietly. 3 up, 3 down on a line out, a fly out, and a strikeout. An impressive outing so far for Dula as he brings that first pitch home for strike one.
He's been great with the fastball. 90 to 93 miles per hour, but it's the location that's been most impressive. He's able to hit his spots wherever Adam Hackenberg sets up. Dula's hitting the glove.
DeCouta from Oregon State University, batting .348 on the season coming into tonight. And on-base percentage, quite impressive as he has a .400 OBP so far this season.
Off to a good start.
So he lofts that one over into left field for a base hit as he reaches first. The first hit of the game for the Commodores. And Jake DeCouta now standing on first base.
Now batting the right fielder from the
A good piece of hitting by DeCouta. Gets a pitch on the outer half of the plate, just drives it to left field and doesn't do too much with it. Just puts it in play and reaches base to keep building on that on-base percentage.
Yeah, just out of reach of Hardigan. He tried to get up on it but couldn't get to it as that one dropped safely. And now Borfin, Jace Borfin in the left-handed box. Dula comes home with the 1-0. That one misses just a bit outside, brings the count now to 2 balls and no strikes. Borfin in that first inning threw only 18 pitches across the plate. As the 2-0 misses outside, 3-0 the count. And Dula with only 1 walk this summer so far, coming against the Harwich Mariners. Doesn't want to give up a walk early in this game as the 3-0 misses a 4-pitch walk to Jace Borfin, and now runners on first and second for Alex Sayer. And Austin, you don't want to, right now, not a time to start getting worried, as you've only allowed 2 runners on base so far, but still searching for that first out. We've seen what that can do for this Harbor Hawks defense. That first out has proved to be difficult to get early on in this game in the past couple of games.
Yeah, Dula retiring the first 3 batters and the single to walk. You don't want to string together too many base runners, which has been the issue for Hyannis. They've had good, spouts and, good little bits and pieces of ball games, but they've had these stretches where there's 6 or 7 guys in a row getting on. So Dula is going to look to bounce back in this at-bat to Sayer.
Double play could go to any base as that one spiked in the dirt. Bringing the count to 2-0 to Sayer. Dula now thrown 6 straight balls in this outing after being dominant in that first inning of play. Had trouble getting that first out so far. As he has his sign from Hackenberg, he comes set. Pitch comes in, fouled off. Count at 2-1 to Sayer now. Sayer, coming into tonight's game, actually supposed to bat 1 spot lower. He was in the 7-hole whenever we first got the lineups here, but at the last second, due to Jonathan French being pulled out of the game, he got moved up to the 6-hole. As he fouls that one off as well, that heads into the crowd. Lands just in front, and one lucky fan bare hands the grab. What a catch there.
He'll give the ball to a kid, too. Good job all around.
Very good job, and that brings the count now to 2-2.
And good job by Hunter Dula on the mound. He started 2-0 in this at-bat and just has battled back with that fastball in a good position here to try to finish off Ware with a punch-out.
Here's the 2-2. Fastball up high. He didn't check it in time, and Alex Sayer goes down swinging for out number 1. And now that chance for a double play here with runners on first and second becoming more and more important, as a double play here would get the Harbor Hawks out of a little bit of a pickle here in the bottom of the second.
Absolutely, and that was an important strikeout, Lincoln. You have to get 1, and now that Dula's got that 1 out, be a little bit more flexible with the ball hit to the outfield, and you can afford a runner to move up 90 feet. You can get another out to get to the second out.
That one's ripped down the left field line, and that falls foul. That's going to
foul.
Bring the count to 0-1. Long strike. That was a dangerous ball at first, as that would have scored at least 1 and would have probably been extra bases there for Smith.
Now, if you're lucky, because there's no fence down there by the porta potty out by the foul pole down the left field line, it gets out of play and you call it a ground rule double. So we'll have to see how the dimensions come into play here at Gov Fuller Field.
And this is actually Bryson Ware. Ware also moving up in the spot in the lineup, as he was supposed to be in the 8-hole tonight, moving up to the 7-hole. And Smith is actually going to be in the 8-hole tonight, as he's now standing on deck. So if all goes well, Anthony Hall should still be in that 9-hole spot, as Ware goes down looking as well. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hunter Dula after allowing those first 2 batters on base, and he's just really bounced back here.
Catcher from Texas A&M,
Yeah, great job by Hunter Dula. This is how you pitch out of trouble and respond and show some resilience, was what the Harbor Hawks needed out of Dula. Pair of punch-outs looking to finish off this inning and strand the Commodores where they are and halt any momentum they might have been building.
3 strikeouts already for Dula. He ended his last appearance with 4 in 3 innings pitched. As that one misses down low. Count goes to 1 ball and no strikes, 2 away. Once again, runners on first and second. That's Jake DeCouta over at second base and Jace Borfin over at first.
I'm sure Taylor Smith, the catcher up at the dish, would love to pick up where his teammate Jonathan French left off, and he does.
That one's lofted into left field. That's going to be a base hit. That's going to be Hardigan picking that one up, throwing a second. And that's going to score a run for the Commodores, as that's DeCouta coming in from second. And the Commodores on the board now, trailing 4-1.
It's a good piece of hitting by Smith, and it's the catcher spot for the Commodores that has done damage to the Harbor Hawks early on in the year. We mentioned Jonathan French, the Clemson catcher, with a pair of homers against Hyannis, and now Smith comes into this ball game and welcomes himself with an RBI single.
And as you mentioned earlier, that's one of the beautiful and terrible things about baseball at the same time, as we've seen a couple of balls ripped right directly to players, and then at the same time we've seen some weakly hit bloops that end up landing in shallow part of left field, and their score, as we've seen, they can score runs with those. One ball, no strikes, and 2 away now as Anthony Hall digs in. Pitch from Dula. That one's hit towards left field, and that's going to be Hardigan selling under it for out number 3. The Commodores find the board, but the Harbor Hawks maintain their 3-run lead now, leading 4-1 after 2 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back for the top of the third here from Gov Fuller Field. Lincoln Revill alongside Austin DeCouta here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Luke Mann set to start us off, as he'll be followed by Zane Harris and Mitch Hardigan, the 3, 4, 5 hole hitters coming up for the Harbor Hawks, as we currently lead the Falmouth Commodores by a score of 4-1 here heading into the third, as that first pitch from Stone finds the zone for strike 1.
Stone back on the hill here, Lincoln, for his 3rd inning of work. A rough first inning, but he bounced back well in the 2nd. He'll look to continue that success here in the 3rd.
Count now goes to 0-2. Mann 0 for 1 as he went down looking back in the 1st. Part of that little pattern that we saw, strikeout, walk to the first 4 hitters, as that one misses outside, brings the count to 1-2. And the Harbor Hawks, as we mentioned earlier, 4 runs on 3 hits in that first inning. As that one skied back towards foul territory behind home plate. And that is brought in by Smith for out number 1.
Terrific job by Smith, flipping the mask, tracking that ball in the sun, and making the play.
First baseman, number 33,
Great work by the catcher.
And that was just a couple of feet from hitting the top of that backstop as it goes straight up and then ends up coming back towards the warning track just a little bit. Now with one away, Harris digs in, reached on a walk in the first, and ended up coming home later on as he tips that one, but that is brought in by Smith, strike 1.
Just over the top of that changeup.
And that's a high chopper over towards short. Colden gonna pick that up. Throw to first is Ware unable to get that one as that hits off the Commodore dugout, and Harris reaching first for his second time tonight after that E6 as Colden starts patting his chest saying that's my fault. And now a runner on first with one away for Mitch Hardigan, who had the first hit of the game for the Harbor Hawks tonight.
Second error on the night for the Commodores.
Now batting the left fielder, number 28, Mitchell Hardigan.
And that first error, was that the play out in center field from Hall?
Yes, it was.
If I'm not
The
mistaken.
ball will
Yeah.
allow the runners to continue to move.
Yeah, I thought so. With one away, Stone finds the outside part of the strike zone. Count goes to 0-1 to Hardigan. Hardigan out and left, as I mentioned. 1 for 1 with a single, also reached home. As that one called strike, brings the count now to 0-2. Hardigan came into this game batting 179. Of course, he's improved that with that base hit back in the first. As the 0-2 from Stone comes in, that's fouled off, bringing the count now will remain at 0-2.
Job by Hardigan fouling off a tough pitch to hit. If you put that in play, it's probably not going to result in a base hit, so just fight it off, live to see another day, and hopefully get a better pitch here.
And this is the 60th pitch from Stone, as that is swung on and missed of that breaking ball in the dirt. Gets Hardigan, as that is now 2 away with Marcos Pujols up to the plate.
Pujols absolutely ripped the single back up the middle in the first inning. Brought in 2 runs, and he was really on that fastball. We'll see what he can do here. That right field line looks pretty appetizing. Lots of room down there.
A delicious spot, you might say. As Pujols, the designated hitter in the left-handed box, sporting that red leg guard. As that first pitch up high for ball 1. And Pujols has been, he started the season off having some trouble. It took him a few games, that is, to get that first hit against the Commodores a couple of days ago. As that one's lofted over behind third base. Should stay in fair territory as that is brought in by DeCouta for out number 3, ending the top half of the third. And we head to the bottom of the third. Harbor Hawks leading the Commodores 4-1 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network.
batting the shortstop,
Bottom half of the third inning coming up as Hunter Dula is going to be back up on the mound for his third inning of work. He'll be facing Cody Colden as Colden rips that first pitch into center field, and that is going to be, is it caught? It is caught, says the third base umpire, as that is out number 1. And Rose.
I don't think anyone else besides the third base umpire realizes that he ruled him out. I mean, he's got a runner on first. Now he's retreating to the dugout, but the other umpires haven't really acknowledged the call yet.
Time is called as the Falmouth manager.
He did catch it. He picked it off the shoestring.
Yeah, he did. He did. It was a little bit of a iffy play as he thought about letting that one bounce and then grabbing it out, but he ended up reaching for it at the last second, as the umpires are now going to all come in and have a little conference of their own. Brandon Johnson and Larry Rosenberg actually making the call over at third base. And then we have our first base umpire. I didn't get his last name. They called it to us quickly from the PA, but I know his first name is Lou. L-O-U for his first name. I don't know what his last name is, though. Taking a long time to discuss what this play call is going to be, as
I think he caught it.
they're going to disperse.
All right.
And he is going to be called out. So a scary first out there for Rose, but an out nonetheless, as with one away, that's going to bring Michael Curiali to the plate.
The second baseman, number 6, Michael Curiali.
And a good play from Rose. Definitely harder than it looked out there, and it did look pretty hard as he had to come in at the last second to make that grab. With one away, Dula spikes that first pitch to Curiali here, as Curiali with his second at-bat, 0 for 1 on the night with a fly out in the first. Actually, that fly out going to Rose out in center field. As the right-hander brings the 1-0, misses down low, brings the count to 2 balls and no strikes. Curiali hits that one back up the middle, picked up by Dula. Throw to first is in time as he easy toss there to Harris for out number 2. 2 away, Braden Taylor also 0 for 1 on the night and now digging in for his second appearance. And that's an out we've seen a few times this season, Austin, and quite honestly, a very hard play to make even on those slow grounders back up the middle.
Yeah, definitely a difficult play, but our infield as a whole has been really good defensively and been able to definitely help our pitchers out, take away a couple base hits, and especially with Luke Mann over at third, he's been a human highlight reel. Kyle Ball, Mariano Ricciardi have turned a couple plays, and of course Zane Harris brings a really good glove at first as well.
This one hit down towards first, picked up by Harris. He'll step on the bag himself, and that ends the inning. Another 3 up, 3 down for the Harbor Hawks as we head now to the 4th. Harbor Hawks leading 4-1, but first, before we go to break, we're going to toss it on down to our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer. What do you have for us?
Well, guys, a much better start for the Harbor Hawks tonight. You know, the past 2 games, we gave a lot of runs in the first innings tonight. We get 4 in the first inning. You know, the players have talked about they need to settle in. They just started playing with each other. Like Kyle Ball said in his interview last night, this is a tough league to play in, especially playing with new teammates, but it looks like they're settling in tonight and look much better.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Another fantastic job as always. And we're just about ready for the top of the 4th. We're going to take a little break on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Top of the fourth inning coming up. We're going to have Dominic Johnson starting us off, Adam Hackenberg on deck, and Mariano Ricciardi is going to be in the hole here. The last three up in the lineup for the Harbor Hawks to start us off here in the fourth, as we currently lead the Falmouth Commodores by a score of 4-1. An eventful first inning there for the Harbor Hawks, scoring all four of their runs. Three of those four. No, that's actually all four runs coming in a bit of a two-out rally here for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, Dom Johnson a part of that with the RBI triple to the right center field gap, and that's where a lot of his hits have been this season. Like in the home run was to the right center, the triple to right center, a couple singles, and in batting practice, that's where he goes. He's a terrific opposite field hitter, and that's what I'm sure has impressed a lot of the scouts here.
He's taking another hefty hack, another hack there, as that brings the count now to 1-2. And the 1-2 count now. Stone still on the rubber for the Commodores as he brings this pitch home. Another big swing there from Johnson. He can't connect. That is strike three. Johnson now at 1-for-2 with a triple, and now a swinging strikeout with one away, and that brings Adam Hackenberg to the plate.
Now batting the catcher, number 25, Adam Hackenberg.
It's a good piece of pitching there by Stone, working in a couple different fastballs, off-speed pitches as well.
Hackenberg, one of the catchers on the roster for the Harbor Hawks.
And Lincoln, there is action in the Commodore bullpen. It's a left-hander, number 21, Tyler Tuthill.
We've seen Tuthill once before this season as he's getting ready to come into relief for Stone. Hackenberg with an 0-1 count. Stone comes home, another big swing there, can't connect. 0-2. Hackenberg had that line out over to Ware at first base. That was out number 3 to end the top of the first.
Hackenberg, another good opposite field hitter. Harbor Hawks can really hit to all fields well as a team.
And the 1-2, waiting from Stone. He comes home. Another swing and a miss. That is out number 2. And Smith actually thought that was out number 3 as he tossed the ball to the mound and started heading to the dugout. But instead, with 2 away, Mariano Ricciardi.
There are only 2 outs.
Now up at the plate, and the confirmation from
number 16,
the press box as the PA announcer announced that there are only 2 outs. As the first pitch from Stone. That finds the zone, brings the count now to 0-1 to Ricciardi. And Mitchell Stone really turned on the gas here as he's only thrown 1 recorded ball in this inning so far. Count now at 0-2 as the pitch comes in. A high fly into foul territory, and that lands out of play.
And that slice, you guessed it, brought to you by Supreme
As a
Pizza,
collective
located on the
ooh
Sea-Ticket Highway,
coming
right
from
here
near
in
the
town.
Commodore dugout. So that's going to keep the count at 0-2, 2 away.
Stone has just gotten stronger as the game has gone on, and he, that first inning, Lincoln allowing the 4 runs, then inning number 2, allowed a single, but the double play got him out. Inning number 3, only allowed 1 base runner on an error, and then now he's just been really mowing the Harbor Hawks down since the first.
And the 75th pitch from Stone misses out of the zone. That lands in the dirt. Smith stops it, brings the count to 2-2. And Austin, I have my hat now. Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Oh, there we go.
It was 3 for 3 last night. We'll see how it goes tonight. The 2-2 misses down low. And the hat now 4 for 4 over the past couple of games. As that brings the count to full 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Harbor Hawks with 4 runs on 4 hits as that becomes 5 hits now, as that is a base hit into right field from Mariano Ricciardi, and he is now 1 for 2 on the night.
Great piece of hitting by Ricciardi. Gets a fastball out in front, puts it in between the first and second base hole.
The center fielder, number 3.
And Ricciardi's a guy whose bat's picked up as well as we moved on through this season, and starting to become a really solid hitter at the bottom of the order. He started the season in the leadoff spot. Him and Caden Rose flipped, and they've both been pretty comfortable in their respective positions.
Rose and Ball becoming quite the pair to start the lineup for the Harbor Hawks as runner goes over from first. Ricciardi with the long slide into second base, and he is in safely as that throw from Smith ended up a little bit too high as Curiali had to leap over to catch that one. And I was surprised that Ricciardi actually started sliding a few yards before the base and then sort of looked like he was sliding on turf out there as he just kept on going and found second base. The 1-0 pitch to Rose. Swung on and missed, brings the count even at 1. A very beautiful day here in Falmouth. Beautiful blue skies, couple of clouds out and past the outfield. But a very sunny day here as the shade's starting to creep in from around left field and starting to shade the infield a little bit here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Stone. That one's hit for a base hit into left field, and that's going to be Ricciardi rounding third, heading for home. The play coming into home is not in time as Ricciardi scores from second, and the Harbor Hawks now leading 5-1 here in the top of the 4th.
They're just jumping all over the fastball, and everyone's just staying within themselves, putting it in play. And great piece of hitting by Caden Rose. The stolen base by Ricciardi comes back to help Hyannis, and they are firing on all cylinders for really the first time since that win against DeCouta.
Bat of Caden Rose started hot, and it stays hot as he is now 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. And that's going to prompt a mound visit as that looks like that'll be it for Mitchell Stone. As we're just awaiting. No, it's not going to be it actually, as the pitcher in the bullpen ends up heading back to the Commodore dugout, and then he goes back to the bullpen as it looks like the Falmouth manager is going to let Stone finish out this 4th inning, which makes sense. With 2 away, you don't want to take him out, and we've seen that once or twice this season. But you know, with 2 away, you might as well let him get that 3rd out.
Now, if he allows Ball to reach base, I expect that'll be it for Stone as his pitch count's getting up there as well, up near the mid-80s now.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's probably the last chance here as runner goes over from first. Throw down to second is not in time as he slid around the tag. That was Caden Rose sliding into second base safely. And the Harbor Hawks now with 3 stolen bases on the night tonight.
Yeah, they're running. They're getting a good jump, a good lead over there on Stone, a left-handed pitcher too, which it's typically tougher to get a good jump on. But now Rose, Ball, and Ricciardi each with a stolen base.
Here's the 2-0. Now on a called strike outside. It seemed a little bit outside, but brings the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike anyway. As Ball seemed to follow that pitch as he sort of crept his way towards the inside line of the batter's box, following that ball on the outside. And that 2-1 pitch finds the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes now, and
no,
prompts the hat shaking once again here.
It comes.
Yep.
The hat's got a nice 4-game hit streak or 4 plate appearance hit streak going.
Yeah, yeah.
Successful. See if we can continue.
Here's the 2-2. Runner goes from second, and that is fouled off.
Do it again.
And we'll have to stay at 2-2. Ball going to have to retreat back to second. He had a great jump there from second base heading to third, but ends up having to retreat. Count at 2-2 once again. Ball now a combined 0 for 8 against the Commodores as he's 0 for 1 on the night. Walked and then hit into a double play. Here's the 2-2. Ripped up the middle, and that is going to be brought in by Hall, that fly ball in center field, and that'll end the top of the 4th. Harbor Hawks add 1, now leading 5-1 heading into the bottom of the 4th as the Commodores come up next on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Now batting for the Commodores, the third baseman,
Bottom half of the
number
fourth
5,
inning as the Harbor Hawks take the field for this fourth inning of play. As due up for the Commodores coming up is going to be Jake DeCouta, Jace Borfin, and Alec Sayer. DeCouta actually started us off back in the second inning as well, as he is 1-for-1 with a single. And Austin, seeing Hunter Dula back on the mound for this fourth inning of play, the longest any Harbor Hawk pitcher has gone this season so far.
Yeah, the first time through the rotation, Dula included, they all went 3 innings if their performance allowed them to. And we haven't got a chance to see the last 2 starting pitchers for the Harbor Hawks go past the 3 innings, as the second time through the rotation, Baker had some struggles last night, as well as did Halamano and Halverson earlier in the week. So Dula pitching effective, being in the zone and not allowing many base runners. He's yet to come back on for the fourth here.
Yeah, Dula so far with only 1 run given up and 2 hits through those 3 innings of play so far, as he now brings the 1-2 count to Jake DeCouta. Definitely not a shortage of wind at tonight's game, as the 1-2 finds the outside corner. That is strike 3. Once again, another strikeout for Hunter Dula, as that is now number 4 on the evening, as Jace Borfin is going to step up to the plate.
And Lincoln checking in with a Harbor Hawk alumni, Jackie Bradley Jr., 2 for 5 today with a run and an RBI against the Cubs, and the Brewers would go on to pick up that win. And we checked in last night with Sean Minaya, a guy who is having a great season. Jackie Bradley, obviously a longtime Red Sox, now with the Brewers, having a stellar season in the field and starting to pick it up at the plate.
This one lined over towards the line in left field, and that is down for a base hit. That's Jace Borfin rounding into second, and that is a 1-out double for Jace Borfin, as he is now 1-for-1 on the night.
Great job by Borfin. A fastball on the outside part of the plate, takes it the other way. That's what the Commodores need. You need to get runners on here to try to close this gap a bit.
Now batting the left fielder, number 18, Alec Sayer.
And Alec Sayer now coming up to the plate for the Harbor Hawks, or excuse me, for the Commodores, that is, as the Harbor Hawks are in the field, as Dula preparing for his 50th pitch of this outing tonight. And the first pitch is swung on. That's going to be fouled out of play. That brings the count to 0-1 to Alex Sayer, who is 0-for-1 with a strikeout so far on the night. He went down swinging back in the third. The second, that is. As I said, a cool windy day in Falmouth, 75 degrees, wind coming out of the southwest at 16 miles an hour. And a very humid day at that, with 83% humidity in the forecast here today.
Which way do you think the southwest is here at this ballpark? I have no sense of direction.
Well, let's see.
The grass is blowing behind us.
It's going to blow out towards left field, actually.
All right.
It seems it's blowing out towards left.
So that's southwest, huh?
Oh, yeah, the American flag out there by the, just past the Commodore dugout, blowing out towards center field, more like.
Wasn't sure if you had a compass with you.
No. I guess there's probably an app for that on the iPhone, but I don't have one with me on hand. Is that 1-2 pitch, breaking ball is swung on and missed. Sayer goes down, back-to-back strikeouts. And with 2 away now, and runner on second, that brings Bryson Ware to the plate.
First baseman, number 8, Bryson Ware.
Ware 0-for-1 on the night as well, as he went down swinging. That second out back in the bottom of the second. Dula, as we said earlier, the longest outing so far, but Austin, it seems he's still has plenty of gas in the tank, as he's still going strong.
Yeah, absolutely. He's hitting 90 still on the fastball, and he's been effective. Besides the double in this inning, the 2 strikeouts to go with it, and he's still hitting his spots and not really losing that command, which is the most important part. Even if you lose a mile or 2 off your fastball, if you can still command the zone, that's what's really important down the stretch.
He's given up 3 hits, only 1 walk on the night, and 1 run given up. Good numbers so far for him, as this one's ripped down the third base line, and that's going to drop just foul. That brings the count now to 0-2 with 2 away.
4 strikeouts on the night as well for Dula, or 5 strikeouts on the night, excuse me.
Almost He's looking for his 6th strikeout here with the 0-2. As Ware takes a little practice hack before stepping into that right-handed box. The sun slowly creeping behind the tree line as a lot of sun out in right field, but other than that, some shade reaching all the rest of the field. As this throw down to second on the back pick is not in time. A great throw from Hackenberg as they almost caught Borfin sleeping over at second base.
That throw was just the other side of the second base bag. They may have had him, but he transferred that out of his glove so fast, did Hackenberg, and we've seen that cannon throwing 3 runners out so far on the season trying to steal on him.
I wish we knew what his pop time was exactly as the breaking ball, 79 miles an hour, swung on and missed from Ware. And Dula strikes out the side as we head to the 5th. Harbor Hawks up 5-1 on the Harbor Hawk Baseball Network. And back for the top of the 5th inning as we have a new pitcher coming in for the Commodores, as that is Tyler Tuthill coming in relief for Mitchell Stone, the 2nd pitcher of the night for the Commodores, as Tuthill, another left-hander, facing the lefty Luke Mann to start us off. As the first pitch comes in, and that is fouled off. Straight back, hitting the backstop for strike 1. Mann at 0 for 2 on the night, looking for his first hit of this game. He struck out looking in the first and went down on a foul fly out in the 3rd. As he swings at that breaking ball, ends up tipping it, but can't make full contact as that is strike 2.
He's made good contact all season, man. He's starting to get that bat around, just struggling a bit in this game against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, sporting that red-handled bat with the gray barrel.
I like that look a lot.
Yeah, it's a great-looking piece of wood there.
And a lot of the guys brought about 3 or 4 bats with them, and the team supplies some, but Kyle Ball, Zane Harris, both have already broken 2.
Mm-hmm.
So they talked about that adjustment going from metal to wood and how it's tougher, less forgiving. You know, you get one on the handle, you're going to break one. So a couple of the guys already going through a couple bats. And that's a nasty curveball.
Beautiful pitch there as Mann goes down looking for the second time tonight, as he is now 0 for 3, and with 1 away, it's Zane Harris coming up to the plate. And we've seen the power that Harris can bring to the plate, but we've only seen it. We've seen it leave the yard once. We've also seen a couple of big hits as he reached with an error back in the third. Hard hit ball to short. That was picked up by Colden, and Colden couldn't complete the throw to first as that ball tried a dig attempt from where it couldn't be made. Count at 0-1. Pitch comes in. Misses inside. Sends Smith reaching for it on the inside corner. 1-1, 1 away, nobody on. As Smith waving his bat. Popped up and fouled out. As that leaves the playing field, brings the count to 1-2 now.
Tuthill has a good breaking ball too. Would not be surprised if he breaks it out here 1-2.
As I mentioned, we've seen Tuthill once before from the Commodores as he came in to pitch for the other Stone.
There's the breaking ball again.
As another breaking ball gets Harris looking this time as he goes down. Back-to-back looking strikeouts for Tyler Tuthill. And that'll bring Mitch Hardigan to the plate. Hardigan, a lively bat to start the game off with a single. Went down swinging and is at bat in the third. So 1 for 2 night for him so far. Hardigan out in the left. Gotten some action as he lofts that one into shallow center field, and that is going to be brought in by Hall to end the top of the fifth. We head to the bottom of the fifth. Harbor Hawks up over the Commodores 5-1 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back here, bottom half of the fifth inning. And before we get started underway here, fans, Curry College is where you're going to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at www.curry.edu. And we have a new pitcher coming up on the mound for the Harbor Hawks, as that's going to do it for Hunter Dula. But to explain who this is and to take reins for play-by-play for the rest of this game, my partner Austin DeCouta. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Lincoln. Terrific job as always.
Thank
really
you very much.
Enjoyed sitting here with you. As Austin Wallace, Lincoln, as you mentioned, the new pitcher on the hill today for the Harbor Hawks, as he takes over for Hunter Dula, who went a terrific 4 innings tonight for the Harbor Hawks. 3 hits, 1 run, and 6 strikeouts on the line for Dula. Austin Wallace making his 3rd appearance of the season. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs allowed. As we almost are ready to get going here in the bottom of the 5th, the Harbor Hawks lead it 5-1 over the Falmouth Commodores. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Hyannis. 1 run, 3 hit, 2 errors for Falmouth.
Now batting for the Commodores, the catcher, number 14, Taylor Smith.
Taylor Smith getting ready to lead it off here for the Commodores as it's 8-9-1. That's Smith, Hall, and Colden. Smith on the day, 1 for 1 with an RBI single back in the second. That drove in the lone Commodore run to this point. Austin Wallace, a left-handed pitcher, fires his first pitch of the night and gets Smith swinging for strike 1. Lights have come on here at Gov Fuller Field in Falmouth as the sun begins its descent into the night. The 0-1 from Wallace. Off-speed pitch at 77 miles per hour in the dirt and blocked by Hackenberg. The count moves to 1-1.
I will say it's nice to have lights on an away game now after traveling to Cotuit and almost having to cancel that game early due to no sunlight.
We made it out, just in time as the sun begins to finally set around 8:30, I believe, by the time you're probably out of daylight.
Yeah, probably around there.
Almost all fields have lights. I think just Cotuit, Yarmouth, Dennis, and I believe the third is Brewster without lights, if we're correct. We'll have to check as we go to these fields. But
yeah, I'm not sure.
I know we have 5 p.m. starts in Yarmouth and Cotuit, and Brewster should be the third.
Yeah, I know you're right about Yarmouth.
We haven't been to the Brewster field quite yet.
No. We haven't been to the Yarmouth field for a game, but we had a meeting there before the season started, and we noticed they didn't have lights either.
And anytime there's a 5 p.m. first pitch on the schedule, it's an indication that there's no lights, except for later in the season we have a couple 4 p.m. starts, so those games we'll have to check where they are. But Wallace sets down the first man he faces in Smith. He gets him down swinging, and there's a 1 away in the bottom of the 5th.
We saw a solid start there from Hunter Dula as he went 4 innings, and now Wallace starting off with another solid first at bat with a strikeout to Taylor Smith to start himself off.
Yes, Brewster is the third field without lights. Hall digs in. He flew out to left field his first at bat. Looking to do battle here with the left-hander Austin Wallace from Austin, Texas.
Yeehaw, I have to say.
Is that their saying, or is that just a Texas thing down there?
Well, no, honestly, you don't hear a lot of people saying like yeehaw on a regular basis.
Well, you're from Texas, so
yeah.
You might have a good gauge on it.
I say yeehaw. I find myself saying howdy a lot to people, It used to be ironic, but now it's just an unironic howdy, y'all. Just like out of the blue.
That one's lined back where it came from up the middle for a base hit. Rose fields it on a hop in center field. So Hall will reach, puts a runner on first with 1 away as we head back to the top of the lineup card. It's Cody Colden getting ready to dig in for the third time tonight.
A great hit there from Hall as he just took that fastball and ripped it back up the middle off to the left of Wallace there. Beautiful base hit there.
Taking a look at what's ahead for Hyannis after tonight's game, they will have a day off tomorrow. Back in action Friday at Wareham for a 6:45 first pitch. Saturday at YD, a 5 p.m. first pitch. And then we are back home Sunday for 4th of July, home versus YD, a 6 p.m. first pitch.
Yeah, and that off day, I feel like, going to be a welcome sight by players all around the league, as after 6 straight games definitely takes a toll on your body.
They're tired. A lot of them are a little bit worn down. It's a long season, 6 games in a row. Dom Johnson told me he was actually tired for the first time in a while today. And a lot of these guys go to the gym. Caden Rose said, 5 or 6 days a week he's in the gym. Before practices, you get to the field. If you're hitting BP most days, you're in the cage for some extra work. So it's long days for these players, and all while trying to get 3 meals in between and trying to win ball games too. Well, they're excited for that off day. Some guys do different things. Kyle Ball says he likes to go kayaking. Some of the guys, Dom Johnson, Marc Adamiak, Trey Robertson, they play MLB The Show on PlayStation. Might play some of that in their free time. Michael Curielli is 0 for 2 on the day. A fly out and ground out to this point, and you've seen Curielli many times before. Plays infield and outfield. He's been all around the diamond for the Commodores this season.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're Wallace and the Harbor Hawks, again, not time to get worried with the runner in a scoring position. You still have that comfortable 5-1 lead so far, and with 1 away here, it'd be different if there were no outs, but with 1 away, a little ground ball could end that inning with a double play.
The 1-0 is popped up out of play. Zane Harris going to give it a look. It's going to curve and drop for a strike one. Curiali, the UCLA Bruin, hit 285, 366 on base percentage, and drove in 36 RBI, or 36 runs he drove in with 1 homer in the 2021 campaign. So a pretty solid run producer. Runner on second base here, a good chance to produce a run for the Commodores.
Yeah, and a good hustle there from Harris over at first base. But again, that high wind here in Falmouth blowing out towards center field, taking its toll as that one took a weird little twist.
The 1-1 fouled straight back off the metal backstop behind home. Now, you might not get as friendly of a roll as you will in Hyannis. Hyannis has the brick base to the backstop all the way around, and we've seen that come back to help the Harbor Hawks and to haunt Hyannis. But here with just the metal poles all around, if you hit the chain link fence, it's probably going to die right there.
Yeah, and it's not a straight chain link fence. It's definitely seen its days as the middle, really all of the little chain link sections are little bent, sort of bent in away from the field. And so if you in order to get that good bounce, you have to really hit it in exactly the right spot. There's a very thin line that you can hit to get that perfect bounce.
2-2 from Wallace. He delivers and he gets Curiali reaching with a nasty breaking ball for out number 2.
Absolutely filthy. Holy cow. As that was a fantastic pitch, and just had Curiali reaching for it, and he did get a piece of it. But good job there from Hackenberg being able to come up with that one as well.
Braden Taylor digs in with 2 away. Gets to start at DH tonight for the Commodores, the TCU Horned Frog. It's an interesting team name.
It is, yes. I love.
Or
not
school mascot, rather.
Not a huge fan of TCU in
Nope.
general, but I do like their mascot, the Horned Frogs.
Are Horned Frogs popular in Texas? Like the creature itself, or?
I've never seen one. I don't think I might have seen one, and it was probably in like a zoo or something like that, like
Okay.
their little reptile area or
Well, I mean,
amphibian, I guess.
Tigers aren't exactly popular in Clemson, but
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Now, have you heard of some of the weird mascots that are actually some high school names in Texas?
I have not. I know there's a couple teams in New England with the Sea Unicorns as a team name.
Really?
The River Monsters. And
Interesting.
there's no Sea Unicorns
Yeah.
anywhere. So.
No. Yeah. Let's see. In Texas, you have the Winters Blizzards.
Yeah, no
Winters,
no
Texas.
blizzards down in Texas. I mean, you guys had a couple inches of snow or
Yeah.
a freeze, but I wouldn't call that a blizzard.
Yeah, no, definitely not. You have the Blizzards. You got the New Braunfels Unicorns.
Oh.
Let's see. There's one that's the Sandies.
Oh.
Actually, a high school I used to go to, back before up until about halfway through high school, went to the Frost High School, home of the Polar Bears.
Polar bears, huh?
The Frost Polar Bears.
That's unique down in Texas.
Yeah.
That's. Don't think you got any polar bears. I mean,
No,
I'm not even
no.
sure you have one at a zoo in Texas.
No, definitely not. Way too hot. And before that, a little bit of history that I know, actually prior to the Polar Bears, it was an even weirder mascot, the Field Mice.
Field mice. Well, those
Yeah.
you might see. But
Well, yeah, no, but you definitely don't hear that in any high schools.
Braden Taylor draws a 5-pitch walk with 2 away, so that's going to load the bases for Jake Ducart. Ducart 0 for 1 on the day, a walk and a run scored, the only run to cross the plate to this point for the Commodores. Ducart, Oregon State, the Oregon State Beavers. Lefty Wallace worked his way into danger, but has worked his way around it a bit. A pair of strikeouts in the inning. We'll see if he can try to battle his way through as Ducart looks to make something happen here with the bases loaded.
Now, Ducart, even though the Harbor Hawks have that 5-1 lead, Ducart represents the tying run at the plate for this game.
One swing of the bat and things could turn drastic for Hyannis. Wallace looking to prevent that from happening as the count evens up at 1-1.
As we mentioned earlier in pregame, the Harbor Hawks looking to snap that 6-game losing streak. Snap it. Not just snap. You've got to put emphasis on it. Snap. You want to
All right.
snap it.
I'll take your word for it. A 1-1 from Wallace is in the dirt and swung on to bring the count to 1-2 as he chases the off-speed pitch below the knees. Ducart looking to put a ball in play. Wallace looking to prevent him from doing just that. A big pitch upcoming with the count 1-2, 2 away in the inning. The bases juiced.
Now the sun here, it's completely down. Wasn't it like just 5 minutes ago you were saying, oh, it's just starting to go down?
I mean, it got a little bit darker quicker than we see in Hyannis. The 1-2 is spiked in the dirt, but a nice block by Hackenberg saves a run as everyone will stay put. 2-2 the count.
The Suns seem to hear you, and you know that TikTok audio where it's like, you want to see some real speed? Yeah, it must have said that. I'll show you real speed, and it went down.
Anyways, Anthony Hall's on third. The 2-2 is fouled straight back. The count will hold just where it's at. Hall is at third, Colden at second, Taylor at first. DeCouta at the dish, a 2-2 count, the payoff pitch upcoming from Wallace. Lincoln, do you think he goes off speed here?
No, I'm going to call fastball up high.
All right, we'll see where Wallace goes with the 2-2, and time is called. DeCouta thought Wallace was taking a bit too long to get ready as they run through the signs once more. Wallace, the left-hander, with the pants pulled up to expose the blue socks, the black Nike cleats, the 2-2. In the dirt, ball 3, so full count, 2 outs, Lincoln. The runners will be moving. If a ball gets put in play, that could be very deadly for Hyannis.
Yeah, with that extra jump, that'll allow even Taylor, who's on first, with that extra jump, he could really get home on even just a double, a base hit.
3-2 the count. The payoff pitch from Wallace. Ball 4. He walks in a run, and the Commodores pull a little bit closer as it's a 5-2 ball game.
And that is not what you would want, as we saw, and for the past few games, a couple of runs have been walked in for the Harbor Hawks, and although we still have a 3-run lead now, as they've walked in only 1 run, but still not a good spot to be in.
Jace Borfin pops up the first pitch. Hackenberg flips the mask. He'll give it a look near the Commodore dugout, but it's out of play.
Yikes, that got close. That landed right in the middle of a little group of kids. That almost turned painful.
The chase for foul balls is on and active here in Falmouth.
I did hear one announcement coming in from the press box that actually the field that we're on is next to the Falmouth Police Department, and they made an announcement that if any foul balls go into the police department parking lot, that parking lot is off limits.
All right.
So that's the one spot that you will not be able to get a foul ball.
Limited playing field for the kids in attendance as Wallace snaps off a nasty curveball at 72 miles per hour and gets Borfin out in front, so the count moves to 0-2. Bases still loaded. The lead for Hyannis is 5-2.
Strikeout here would be monumental for Wallace.
The 0-2 from Wallace in the dirt and blocked by Hackenberg, and he saved about 2 runs this inning.
Yeah, Hackenberg has been really showing off just how useful he is behind the plate. As in his past couple of appearances, he's been just a stone wall back there, really limiting the number of pitches that get past him.
The 1-2 from Wallace.
Ooh.
Just low. A nice curveball, but couldn't get it enough of the zone. 2-2, 72 miles per hour as Wallace has a real good mix of pitches. 89 on his fastball occasionally, down to 72 on the curve.
Looking for a fastball here. He doesn't want to go breaking ball again.
The 2-2, it is a fastball, Lincoln, but it's too low. So the count is now full.
Now you're in danger of losing him again after going up 0-2. You want to get this inside the zone at least. Don't want to put it in the wheelhouse, like right in the heart of the plate, but you want to try to put it in the zone.
Runners will be in motion again. The bases are still loaded. There's 2 away. 1 run home in the inning. The full count pitch. Ground ball foul. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, that's what you want, a ground ball into the infield. Yeah, that's what you're looking for, either a strikeout or a ground ball.
Something that's a sure out.
Yeah.
Well, nothing's a sure out in baseball, but something a little.
Yeah, something that seems routine.
Don't want anything that raises the blood pressure.
Yeah, definitely not. As my blood pressure is raising right now,
all right.
Honestly.
The payoff pitch. Fly ball. Left field, back on it is man. In comes Hardigan. Ball's going to make the call to end the inning. So Austin Wallace tiptoes around trouble Only one run comes across for the Commodores, and Hyannis still leads it 5-2 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Back here as the Harbor Hawks are looking to add on to their 5-2 lead. Austin DeCouta and Lincoln Revill with you as the top of the 6 looms near. But before we get there, the Hawk Talk post-game show will be coming up after tonight's game. If you missed any of the Harbor Hawk action, make sure to check out the nightly post-game show, Hawk Talk, on the team's YouTube page for a rundown on everything you missed in that game, all in 3 minutes or less. Go to youtube.com, search Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and catch up on everything Harbor Hawk.
Now, Austin, if I'm not mistaken, you're hosting tonight's show. Am I correct on that?
I will be hosting the post-game show tonight, the Hawk Talk. We'll be doing it on the field here at Gov Fuller Field. Yeah,
definitely be sure to tune into that. Austin does a phenomenal job as the host for that post-game show.
Thank you. Marco's pool host, a guy who does a phenomenal job at the dish for the Harbor Hawks, and he's 1 for 2 to this point with 2 RBI on the single. A run scored as he takes a big cut at the off-speed pitch at 86, but can't put it in play. The count moves to 1-1. Lincoln, we have a lot of fun doing the post-game shows as well as the pre-game shows for home games, and looking forward to another great episode with you tonight.
Yeah, lots of laughs so far on that post-game show. Lots of good insight and lots of good times, as you said.
Pool host lines that one down the left field line. It's going to sneak inside the foul line, or no, it does not. I was waiting for the call on the home plate umpire, and I thought he pointed fair, but he's overruled by the third base umpire, and it's going to be a foul ball.
I was sure that landed fair, and that must have been just inches over to the left.
Pool host is going to have to make the walk back to home after he was already rounding first by the time that ball came down.
A little bit of a workout there for Pujols.
One, 2 the count to Pujols, the Dayton Flyer. Teammates with Mariano Ricciardi at Dayton, as well as here in the summer, the 1-2. That's lined over our heads here, just down the third base side of home plate. And out of play, that's going to be a souvenir for the pine trees.
Nice one.
Not getting that one back.
Watch, there are going to be some kids that are brave enough to try to fight their way through that brush.
The 1-2 is the bender again, but it misses too high and maybe inside on this one. 2-2, the count evens up. If you want that ball, you're going to come back maybe with the ball and 8 types of poison ivy.
Yeah, well, hey, after the mobs that I've seen from the kids so far this season, I wouldn't be surprised of anything.
And Pujols fights off a tough 2-2 breaking ball, stays alive. He's doing a great job battling here until he gets a pitch that he can put in play.
And Pujols, as we mentioned earlier, was having some trouble with the plate earlier on, but since that game number 2 against Falmouth, his bat has been on fire.
The 2-2 is a 75-mile-an-hour pitch at the eyeballs, which brings the count to full at 3-2. It's Pujols, Dom Johnson, followed by Adam Hackenberg, due up this inning for the Harbor Hawks. The 3-2. Thought about it, didn't go around, and he's rung up on strikes looking for out number 1.
Oh, beautiful breaking ball there from Tuthill, just coming in at 71 miles an hour. And Pujols thought that might have missed the zone, but it just dropped right into the heart of it. Just a beautiful pitch.
And steps Dominic Johnson, the right fielder. 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI triple to his credit. As that first pitch misses for a ball. An interesting tidbit about Johnson, him and Cade Cunningham, the future first-round draft pick in the NBA, shared the same tutor at Oklahoma State, so was in a couple classes with Cade. Got a future. Cunningham might go top 3 in the draft. We'll see. I know Johnson was hoping his Oklahoma City Thunder would get a high enough pick to draft Cade, but doesn't seem too likely to this point. The count is 1-1, and a fastball goes by Johnson to bring the count to 1-2. 89 miles per hour on the radar gun. You can see that at the top of the scoreboard in left field here at Gov Fuller Field. The Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field is here in Falmouth, just behind the police station and senior center.
Try saying that diamond 5 times fast, Arnie Allen.
I'll leave that up to you.
I'm not even going to attempt it. No. You've seen how, from that Milton Cat read that's actually coming up later in the broadcast, I always fumble when I read that. I'm not even going to try for that one.
I'll pass on the tongue twisters for tonight. Counts 3-2 to Dom Johnson as Tuthill continues to work on the mound. The 3-2. That's a fastball, but he pops it up. Back behind first base, drifting into foul territory to make the play.
Whoa.
Diving to make the play over at first as nice play by Ware. It looked like it was definitely caught for a moment. Then all of a sudden at the end it curved down and Ware's able to slowly extend to make the play.
Yeah, that a way to make it look hard. Started out as a routine play, and the wind just proving to be lethal once again, as that almost went down as an infield base hit, possibly an error, but if he wouldn't have touched it, it would have been a base hit.
That'll bring up the Clemson catcher, Adam Hackenberg, who takes ball 1. Clemson Tigers. What's the saying again?
All right, I'll go ahead and say it. It's according to Taylor, the Clemson Go Tigers. Yeah, it's LSU. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's LSU. Yeah.
2-0 to the Clemson Tigers.
Clemson Tigers. Is that the saying up there?
Everybody is the Tigers, apparently. Clemson, LSU.
I didn't know that they said the. I didn't know that at Clemson they also say Tigers. I thought it was just at LSU. You know.
I see the difference.
Yeah. Taylor, of course, letting us all know once again that Clemson is the real Tigers.
As Hackenberg flies it to shallow right field in to make the catch is Borfin to end the inning. The Harborhawks go down in order. I'll be back in just a moment on the Harborhawks Baseball Network. back here for the bottom of the 6th inning. New pitcher toes the rubber for the Harbor Hawks. It's the left-hander Jalen Nowlin making his second appearance of the season. Nowlin started his first appearance. That was back on Saturday in Chatham. Or was that 2 Saturdays ago now? I don't know. Time's kind of meshing together down here.
That was last Saturday. Yeah, because it was in between the 2 Falmouth games.
Right. So that was okay. So a few days ago, Nowlin was on the hill. Nowlin ahead 0-1. As a swing and a miss there by Sayer. And immediately out of the bullpen, he's ahead 0-2 on the first batter he faces. It's Sayer, Ware, and Smith due up. The 0-2 just misses inside. 1-2 the count. 93 on the fastball. He's got good velocity out of the bullpen, and a lefty warming up in the Falmouth bullpen as he skips the ball past the dugout. The 1-2 is in the dirt in front of home plate and blocked by Hackenberg. The count moves to 2-2.
Wow, that was a massive difference between that fastball and breaking ball. That fastball at 93, breaking ball coming in at 78 miles an hour. And Harbor Hawks getting a great arm in Nowlin from UAB, the Blazer.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there by Nowlin. 91 on the fastball below the zone, and he records the first out.
Great first at bat there, and
now batting the first baseman, number 8.
just the first strike, great first strikeout as well. He brought that fastball in just low enough so it was away from the bat of Sayer, and a good first out for Nowlin.
That brings up Ware, the first baseman, had that diving play last half inning. First pitch he sees, he can't catch up, and Nowlin's got the fastball working.
He does, and he got that fastball above the bat of Ware. Good start.
Ware to this point is 0 for 2 with a pair of punch-outs on the line. One looking, one swinging. Looking to put a ball in play quickly behind 0-2. The windup and the delivery. And that's going to miss low for a ball, 1-2.
Now, Austin, I'm seeing some clouds forming out there towards the left center field gap, reaching into center field, really all around the outfield. Do you think that's that storm that's supposed to be coming in tomorrow?
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not. I don't know. I was wondering. I know we're supposed to. There's a little bit of a chance of rain in the forecast for the next few days.
Late tonight, I believe, too. But you never know with New England. Hopefully it holds off until after game time. As Nowlin gets the second batter he faces looking. So back-to-back punch-outs out of the Harbor Hawks pen means there's 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. The
number 14,
Hawks leading it 5-2. 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors on the line tonight for Hyannis, and 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Falmouth Commodores. 2 away in the inning as brings up Taylor Smith, the catcher. 1 for 2 with an RBI single. That was all the way back in inning number 2. First pitch, called strike, finds the outside corner, little backdoor breaking ball, 0-1 the count.
Smith from Austin, Texas, the Texas A&M Aggie at the plate.
The 0-1. Finds the zone at the knees, 0-2, and he is working efficiently. Lincoln all in the zone, finding his spots. Impressive outing from the pen.
Yeah, he is. It's so far really all the pitchers that we've seen so far. That's Dula, Wallace, and now Nowlin. All 3 have been doing a exceptional job tonight.
The 0-2 just misses below the zone on the off-speed pitch. 1-2 the count.
No, interesting thing from Smith, he's actually 0 for 6 on the season so far. In 4 games, he's had 6 plate appearances. Doing great on finding base, though, a .538 on-base percentage, but he's still looking for that first hit of the season.
Count moves to 2-2 after the breaking ball. The 2-2.
Ooh.
In the dirt, ball 3. 3-2, count moves to full with 2 away. Payoff pitch upcoming.
Nowlin ended up making Smith do his little dancey dance out there at the plate. Had to move his feet a little bit to avoid that fastball.
Smith looking for his second hit of the night if he can find a hole in this Harbor Hawk defense. The 3-2 from Nowlin. Misses again inside, ball 4, so A 2-out walk puts a Commodore on first with the 9-hitter, Hall, due up.
Well, back-to-back strikeouts and then a walk. Not the third out that we wanted. Not an out at all, as that was Smith reaching base for the second time tonight. And with one runner on, Anthony Hall, who's 1 for 2, had a single in his last at-bat, so he has some momentum going in. And this is an important third out that the Harbor Hawks have to get soon.
Lefty-lefty, as Nowlin's very tough on the left-handed hitters. First pitch to Hall is lined towards deep left center field. Back on it is Rose and Hardigan, and it's Rose who makes the catch in the left center field gap for out number 3. The Commodores strand 1. Hyannis leads it by 3 as we head to the 7th. Back here for the top of the 7th inning. Austin, DeCouta, Lincoln, Revill with you in the booth as the Harbor Hawks get ready to start things off. It'll be Ricciardi, Rose, Ball due up in the inning. But before we get there, for sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat is the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
Number 31, Tommy Summer.
New pitcher on the hill. Sorry, Lincoln.
No, you're good.
It's Tommy Summer, the left-hander. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say that I'm amazed. Whenever you do that Milton Cat read, still no fumbling over that hard part that always gets me. I don't understand it.
I'm sure I'll fumble. I do all the time. It's natural. Tommy Summer making his first appearance of the season here for the Commodores. He was recently added to the roster. Comes from Carmel, Indiana. Attends Indiana University, a 6'4" southpaw out of the bullpen.
Now the town Carmel, Indiana. Now whenever you're talking about the topping, do you say caramel or caramel?
I say caramel.
Caramel?
I do.
All right.
Well, this is also missing an A. It's C-A-R-M-E-L.
Yeah.
So I'd go caramel there, but
yeah.
I mean, there is an A in caramel. Got to give it some attention.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you say caramel?
I do say caramel.
Oh.
Yeah. I hear some people say caramel, but yeah, down especially where I live, we all just call it caramel.
A north thing, they say caramel, and then down there, caramel.
Yeah.
Ricciardi, the leadoff man, here in the 7th inning. He's 1 for 2 on the day, a single, stolen base, and a run scored. He celebrated his 23rd birthday recently as he shows bunt, pulls it back. That was dangerous up near the eyeballs, and that's a welcome to the Cape League there as.
Yeah, and that one missing up high.
A 1-0 from Summer as that one's popped foul back towards the press box and out of play. 1-1 the count.
Now, I'll tell you, Austin, that was a good job of Ricciardi being able to avoid that fastball after showing that bunt. There was a time where I was playing, it was my junior year actually, and I showed bunt on an inside fastball, and I fouled it off the barrel of the bat, and it came back and hit me in the throat. So a great job.
Fun.
Great job of him being able to avoid that ball.
Sounds very painful.
Oh, it was. It gave the whole dugout a laugh, but yeah, very interesting.
Ricciardi behind in the count to Summer. 1-2 the pitch. Foul tip hung on to by the catcher Smith for out number 1. Ricciardi goes down swinging to lead off the 7th.
Yeah, a hefty fastball there from Summer, and it was just
Now batting the center fielder,
too fast for
number 3,
Ricciardi to be able to
Rose.
line up to, as he just couldn't find where it needed to be.
Caden Rose digs in, 1 away in the inning. Rose having himself a successful night to this point. 2 for 3, a pair of singles, an RBI, and a stolen base. So really stuffing the stat sheet tonight.
Yeah, as we've talked about tonight, Rose and Ball, who's on deck, just doing a phenomenal job of really lighting up those bats and getting some runners on base for the rest of this Harbor Hawk lineup.
As Rose pops it up, drifting toward the Commodore dugout. Ware is under it. He makes a catch for out number 2, and Summer making his debut this summer with 2 quick outs.
Yeah, and he just got underneath it, just popped it up,
Now batting
not
the shortstop,
exactly where we would have wanted it to
26,
be, but
Kyle Ball.
you know, that'll happen to everybody once in a while, and now Ball stepping up in.
Kyle Ball, as you mentioned, Lincoln, getting ready to take his cuts with 2 away. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a walk, a stolen base, and a run scored. Harbor Hawks have swiped 3 bases on the Commodores tonight, returning the favor from earlier in the week as the Commodores had some success swiping bags in Hyannis. First time we've visited Gov Fuller Field, but not the first time we've seen the Commodores, as the Harbor Hawks are 0-2 against them this season. Kyle Ball with an even count at 1-1. The 1-1 to Ball. Misses. It's 2-1. Top of the 7th inning here. The count 2-1 to Kyle Ball with 2 away. The pitch from Summer. Outside corner 2-2.
Now,
Luke Mann on deck if Ball can extend the inning.
the Harbor Hawks, after that first 4 innings, found a way to get a runner on base. However, after that 4th inning, they've been struggling to find even that one runner to get on base since the 4th.
Ball goes down swinging. 7th inning stretch coming up from Falmouth.
Number 38, Marc.
New pitcher on the mound. It's the right-hander Marc Adamiak as we get ready to begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill still here in the booth with you. Lincoln, it's been an impressive night for Hyannis. A good bounce-back night so far. We're hoping the bullpen can cap off this early success.
Yeah, after that, so far on a 6-game losing streak, especially struggling so far in the past few games, and really just looking to finish out what has been an outstanding comeback, really, after going down those 6 games.
Marc Adamiak making his 3rd appearance on the year. He's thrown 1 inning, 2 hits allowed, 3 runs, and 3 walks. As Adamiak comes from Arkansas, his hometown Shawnee, Kansas, 6'4" right-hander. Spends the summer living with Dom Johnson and Angus McCloskey. That trio loves to play MLB The Show as well. A lot of guys on this team. Big MLB The Show fans. Adamiak,
number 3, Cody
Robertson, Johnson, McCloskey, all of them.
Do you think it'd be? When do you think it's appropriate to call the Hogs as they do at Arkansas? Have you heard of that before?
No, I have not.
Oh, really?
I don't watch as much college baseball as.
It's like a big football
is it?
tradition too. Yeah, I think they do it at like all of their sporting events where it's like it's like this really cool thing. I'll explain it a bit later.
It's pop foul into the woods.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and explain it now. But it's like this little thing where like they get the whole crowd and they like wave their arms up in the air going woo, all this stuff, and then they yell out pig suey. And then after the third time, they add a pig suey Razorbacks, and it's really cool. I got to watch them play at Globe Life Park, or Globe Life Field earlier on this season, and they did it. It's a very cool tradition.
I have not seen it, but I'll have to check it out. Back to the top of the order for the Commodores is Colden. Has an even count at 1 apiece. It's going to be Colden, Curiali, Taylor due up for Falmouth. As those dark clouds loom deep into the south. A little bit of light still left. The 1-1. Colden fouls it off towards the Falmouth police station, just behind home plate.
Out of bounds for all the kids hoping for a foul ball.
They don't have as much room here to get any. I mean, you have the woods behind us, then down the other line to the police station that's out of play. So it's really, if it's a shallow foul ball. Adamiak ahead 1-2 to Colden. From the stretch here, the 1-2 is popped foul again. 3 in a row off towards the police station. That one might stay in play for a souvenir. Here come the kids.
Yeah, just like in Harwich, the kids were standing around behind our booth actually as they were waiting for a foul ball to come by. The kids doing something similar, standing at the bottom of the bleachers waiting for a foul ball, hoping to get a lucky souvenir.
1-2 the count here to Colden. The windup in the pitch. Weak grounder hit, but it pops up, hits Colden on the shoulder, so it's a dead ball. He'll have to return to home.
And that was almost an automatic out there, as if Colden would have been out of the box at that point whenever it made contact with him, he would have been out. And so very fortunate for him, he was still in that right-handed box.
Just saved and out by a matter of maybe 1 or 2 steps, maybe.
Yeah.
Ari on his way out. Adamiak looking to finish off the leadoff man for Falmouth. Long pause, the 1-2. Got him chasing, 1 away.
A beautiful breaking ball there, 83 miles an hour, and a great first out for Adamiak in this outing.
It's an important out, too.
Yeah, and really, he's just showing off. They're just not showing off, but he's showing, especially late in this game, just how dominant the Harbor Hawk pitching has been so far tonight. They've had only 6 hits combined with between the 4 pitchers so far.
Hunter Dula went the first 4, allowed 1 run, followed by Austin Wallace in the 5th, who allowed 1 run. But then Jalen Nowlin fired a shutout 6, and now Marc Adamiak here on the mound for bottom 7.
And I read that scoreboard wrong out in left field. Even less hits allowed for the Harbor Hawks, as it's only been 4 hits.
An effective outing tonight from the bullpen and the starter, as now Adamiak is ahead on the 2-hitter Curiali 0-2. Adamiak has mixed in that off-speed pitch in addition to a solid fastball. We'll see where he goes now, 0-2. He works from the stretch rather than the windup. Nobody on base, 1 away in the inning. The 0-2. Ooh, fastball near the dome at 94 miles per hour. That'll wake you up a bit at the plate.
Yeah, after seeing that breaking ball in the high 70s, that fastball coming in at 93, just, oof. Lots of difference there.
The count 1-2 to Curiali. 1 away in the inning. Adamiak struck out Colden just moments ago. He wants to replicate that performance here. The 1-2 pitch.
Oh,
Just misses the outside corner, 2-2.
a beautiful spot. Oh my goodness, I thought that touched the outside zone just a bit.
They're right towards Hackenberg's brown, black, and tan glove. But maybe just a half-inch off the plate, the 2-2. And he just catches up to the fastball and fouls it off. Stays alive at 2-2.
Yeah, good battle here from Curiali as he's fought back here in this at-bat, and Adamiak needs to end this at-bat without letting Curiali on base.
The Harbor Hawks defense remains the same from where we started. Hackenberg behind the dish. It's Harris at first, Ricciardi at second, Ball at short, Mann at third. The typical outfield, Johnson in right, Hardigan left, Caden Rose in center. The 2-2 misses outside, 3-2, the count is full, and the Harbor Hawks outfield pretty thin as just Johnson, Rose, and Hardigan remain. Jake Cunningham's out again tonight.
And after going ahead 0-2, he's notched 3 straight balls, and you can't afford to give up that walk.
3-2, called strike 3, a fastball at 93 on the inside corner, freezes Curiali where he is for out number 2.
Strikeout number 2 for Adamiak, and a number of strikeouts so far. And Austin, we've been talking about over the past couple of days just how difficult it's been for the pitchers, for the Harbor Hawks to find that zone over the past couple of days. But so far tonight, they've been doing a great job of finding that zone, really pounding it, as they've only given up 4 walks as a collection so far tonight.
That brings up Braden Taylor, the DH, with 2 away in the inning. Adamiak has been sensational out of the pen. The first 2 batters go down on strikes. Looking to get the side down in order. The 1-0. Called strike at the knees, 1-1 the count.
Now along with those 4 walks so far tonight, as I mentioned just a moment ago, along with pounding the zone, just how much have they been pounding the zone, you might ask? 11 strikeouts combined for the 4 pitchers so far for the Harbor Hawks tonight.
Effective, efficient, and in the zone. The 1-1 is flown out to center field. Caden Rose breaks in on it, makes the catch. The Commodores go down in order. A pair of punch-outs for Adamiak ends the inning. We're going to toss it over to our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, who has an update from us from the sideline.
Thank you, Austin. Now, in the bottom of that 3rd inning, I touched on our pitchers doing better tonight, and they've continued to do that. I mean, with 12 strikeouts, all of our pitchers have been impressive tonight. Hunter Jula, Austin Wallace, Jalen Allen, and now Marc Adamiak. They seem frantic in the past couple games. Tonight they seem calm. Yesterday I talked to Cooper McKeon prior to the game just about things that Coach Korn and Coach Johnson have been talking to them about. They said attack the batter, put them away, and good things will happen. And I think we've seen that come true tonight. Hopefully the Hawks will keep a hot arm to finish out this ball game.
Thank you very much, Taylor. Harbor Hawks baseball back in a moment. Top of the 8th, ready to begin in just a moment. Austin DeCouta, Lincoln Revill here with you as Luke Mann gets ready to lead us off. Mann 0 for 3 on the night, 2 strikeouts and a pop-up on the line. As a new pitcher is on the mound for the Commodores, it's Jackson Pips, a 6'5" left-hander from Dallas, Georgia. Not Dallas, Texas, Dallas, Georgia.
I got excited there for a little bit.
Phipps has been pitching against the Harbor Hawks before with Lincoln. We've seen him, and he's been effective in that outing. He's ahead 0-1. He's going to get Mann, Harris, Hardigan, 3 lefties as he fires it from the left side, so a little lefty-lefty action.
Yeah, we've seen, so far tonight, we've seen 3 of the 5 pitchers that we saw the last game we played Falmouth. Stone, actually no, 2 of the 5, because the Stone that's listed for this game number 2 was the other Stone. So Tuthill and Phipps so far have been the 2 that we faced the same from game number 2.
Count is 1-2 to Luke Mann. I don't think he's had the ball hit its way tonight either at third. Been quiet overall. That one is popped foul, drifting behind home plate as a sea of children chase after it, but Mann stays alive more importantly as the count moves to 1-2.
Not a whole lot of real estate back there as the trees start creeping up on you past that press box back there.
The 1-2 from Phipps. Ooh, and a off-speed pitch that drills Mann, but he takes it like a champ and is just going to wear it and walk to first as the leadoff man reaches base safely.
Yeah, he wore that in about as cool of a fashion as you could, really. He just ducked his head a little bit, took it, and went on his merry way to first. Just a good job there of being able to stay in there and take that breaking ball.
Zane Harris digs in for the 4th time in the ball game, 0 for 2. A walk and a run scored. He did reach in the 3rd on an error by the shortstop. Mann gets his lead. Harris swings at the first pitch and hits it well to left, but it's going to hang up long enough for Sayer to make the catch. And there's one away.
That was a great contact there from Harris. As I thought, off the bat, I thought that was going to drop down the line, but instead, Sayer coming in, and I think he made a slightly unexpected catch from a lot of the fans here, as there were oohs and ahs as that came off the bat, but he ended up coming in and making the catch relatively easily.
Hardigan swinging at the first pitch. He hits it well to the left center field. A diving play by Sayer for out number 2. What a catch by the left fielder.
Wow, Sayer showing his importance in this inning as he's saved 2 possible extra base hits, and instead that's 2 quick outs.
Terrific range by the left fielder, saving a hit. Means Luke Mann has to go back to first base. Which brings up Marcos Pujols. The Harbor Hawks are jumping on Phipps, who's come out of the bullpen. Mann reached on a hit by pitch and then 2 straight lineouts on really solid contact. That misses for a ball, 1-0 to Pujols. Dom Johnson on deck for the Harbor Hawks if Marcos Pujols can extend the inning any further. Phipps takes a look at Mann at first. He dekes a move to second as that one is hit on the nose by Pujols. It's going to sneak by Curiali at second. Mann is running hard to third. They're going to send him as Mann holds up. I think Calhoun wanted him to round the corner, but he'll hold at third as there was another bobble in right field. But Pujols reaches base on a hit, which extends the inning another batter. With runners on the corners, Dom Johnson has a chance to add another insurance run to this 5-2 lead.
Yeah, although that snuck over the glove of Curiali, I understand why they called that one a hit, as that one was a very hard hit ball from Pujols, and just a great piece of hitting overall.
Pujols extends his hit streak tonight. He's now 2 for 4 in this ball game with 2 RBI. Dom Johnson digs in. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI triple. That was all the way back in the first as he takes a ball on the inside corner, 1-0 the count to the Kansas State outfielder. Johnson adjusts his orange batting gloves as Poolhouse leads from first, man on third. The 1-0. Just behind a fastball, 91 miles per hour on the gun. The count evens up at 1-1.
Yeah, Johnson choosing to not sport the team batting gloves issued by Franklin to all the teams this season. We've seen quite a few players sporting those gloves, but it seems Johnson is sporting what look to be Nikes instead of the Franklin gloves.
Bright orange with the white check mark across. The 1-1 to Johnson. He goes down to get a fastball, but it goes out of play. 1-2 the count. Two away in the inning. Runners on the corners. It's Poolhouse on first. Man on third. And Johnson at the dish looking to bring home another run. Hyannis leads it 5-2. The 1-2 from Phipps. Inside, Johnson shimmies out of the way. 2-2 the count.
Johnson trying to do his best Michael Jackson impression there as he moved his feet out of the way, kept his body where it was, turned himself into a little bit of a curve there to avoid that fastball.
2-2 the count. The 2-2. Check swing. Did he go? They'll check at first, and they'll say Johnson went around to end the innings. The Harbor Hawks strand 2. Bottom of the 8th upcoming in just a moment on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning upcoming in just a moment. Before we get there, I want to tell you about the Birds the Word podcast. For your weekly review of everything Harbor Hawks, subscribe to the Birds the Word podcast. Host Harris and Meyers, myself, Austin DeCouta, and my co-host Lincoln Revill break down all the action from the past week, interview players, coaches, and the people behind the scenes to bring you everything you need to know to be in the know. New episodes drop every Friday, so make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app today.
Number 5, Jake DeCouta.
Yeah, new episodes every Friday. The next episode coming out in just 2 days. It feels like a lot longer since we've made that first episode of Birds the Word last week.
Long weeks down here in Cape.
Very long.
Tristan Hott on the hill, his third appearance on the season. He's fired 2 scoreless innings, no runs or walks, just 2 hits and 3 punch-outs so far for the right-hander from Wright State. Leading it off for the Commodores is Jake DeCouta. DeCouta is 1 for 2, a single, an RBI, a walk, and a run scored on the line as he can't catch up to a 92-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Yeah, manager Gary Calhoun seems to be doing a little bit of a little trend here as he let Dula go 4 innings, and since then each reliever has gone 1 inning apiece.
And they've been effective with just 1 run coming across against the bullpen. As a check swing, it's called strike 3 anyways for out number 1.
Great piece of hitting there from Hott to start us off here in the 8th. 3 pitches and a strikeout so far for him. Just a great piece of pitching so far.
One away in the inning. That brings
Now
up
batting the
Jace
right fielder,
Borfin,
number
the right
16,
fielder.
Jace Borfin.
Borfin 1 for 2 with a double and a walk to this point. Tristan Hott strikes out the leadoff man in his first batter face out of the pen. Thought about going around, but it's called the ball as it pops out of the mid of Hackenberg. We see the 3 catchers rotate here in Hyannis. A different mix of them depending on no real pattern at this point in the year. It's Hackenberg, Pendleton, and Post we've seen.
Yep.
1-0. Ground ball to third. It's going to get foul, so have to bring home another.
Yeah, up to this week, we've been seeing really a 3-day rotation, like each one sort of a rotation throughout the season so far. But earlier on this week, we had Hackenberg make a couple of starts, and then he's making his 3rd start in 5 days, I want to say.
It was Post last night against the Kettleers, as that's a changeup getting Borfin to swing over the top of it. The count moves to 1-2. Harbor Hawks bullpen has been great with the punch out too. Wallace struck out 2 in the 5th. Nowlin struck out 2 in the 6th. And you guessed it, 2 in the 7th set down on strikes by Marc Adamiak. Hot looking to continue the pattern, the 1-2. Good breaking ball, but it's outside. If that's over the plate, that's a pretty phenomenal pitch.
Yeah, with the 1-2 count, you can afford to get that pitch out of the zone. Really just try to get Borfin chasing. I sensed that Borfin was tempted, but he just wasn't tempted enough.
A left-hander warming up in the Commodore bullpen. It's number 27, Michael Esposito. Typically the team's closer, one of the 2 closers. He has a save on the season. That was against the Harbor Hawks. Back in that 8-5 victory for Falmouth last week. 3-2 the count to Borfin. The windup from Hott. And the delivery sails the fastball, ball 4, so it's a 1-out walk as Jace Borfin will reach base. Wonder if we're going to see Trey Braithwaite, the Harbor Hawks closer tonight, but he did work 2 innings, if I'm not mistaken, in yesterday's ball game, so I don't think we're going to see him.
Sayer.
You never know. Alex Sayer, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts on the line, but, Lincoln, he's had a couple sensational plays in left field.
Yeah, he really has. He's been making his own little highlight reel here tonight so far.
Fastball called strike on the outside corner, and Tristan Hott hits the mid of Hackenberg on the outside corner. Borfin gets his lead from first. Zane Harris holds him on there. Tristan Hott takes a look over there, comes set. The 0-1 inside for a ball. 1-1, the count evens up. Beautiful night for baseball, Lincoln. It's really cooled off a bit and not too much wind anymore.
Yeah, no, the wind miraculously has died down. It was going all throughout the game up to now, but the Stars and Stripes a little bit droopy out there as it's not blowing as gallantly as it was earlier on in the game.
Tristan Hott ahead 1-2 after an off-speed pitch finds the zone. The 1-2 inside with the fastball evens the count at 2-2. 5-2, the Harbor Hawks lead it. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Hyannis. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Falmouth Commodores as we move towards the conclusion of the ball game. As that one's popped up into shallow right field. Harris is running straight back. Johnson's running in, and he makes the catch for out number 2. An F9 for the second out.
Bold move there from Borfin as he got a little ways off of second base, and you saw Hott actually moving towards first, trying to sneak behind him for that double play, and it could have been a double play if there had been somebody there, as Borfin was a little too far off for my taste, at least.
Pinch hitter here is it's going to be Brennan Malone entering the ball game for Ware. We'll see where he plays defensively as it's a off-speed pitch missing for a ball. 1-0. We've seen Malone a couple times, Lincoln, I think in pitch hit scenarios as well.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised that they brought him in for Ware. Ware, of course, 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts. He's chasing the golden sombrero tonight.
Malone pops it up. Kyle Ball's calling for it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So the Commodores strand one. Hyannis holding on to a 3-run lead from Falmouth. We'll be back for the top of the 9th in a moment here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
He hits that ball well to right field. It is
Adios,
high,
amigo.
It is far, and it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris crushed that one.
A long drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees.
Hit from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the DeCouta Cavaliers.
That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Go to mosquitomarys.com.
The top of the 9th inning looms near as a new pitcher on the mound for the Commodores is Michael Esposito, a left-hander who the Harbor Hawks are familiar with as he picked up a save last week in one of the 2 Commodore visits to McKeon Park in Hyannis, as the Harbor Hawks are looking to add an insurance run if possible to the 3-run lead as they lead it 5-2. Hyannis struck for 4 in the top of the 1st inning, thanks in part to a 2-out rally which brought home all 4 of those runs. Lincoln, they added 1 in the top of the 4th, and now protecting a 3-run lead thanks in part to a strong night from the bullpen.
Yeah, they scored those 4 runs in the 1st inning. If not for those 4 runs, then we'd be trailing 2-1 right now, other than that 1st inning. So very fortunate that we had such a huge inning so early in that game tonight.
Good to get up early and often, and the Harbor Hawks did that tonight. But the game is not over yet. They want to add an insurance run or 2 if possible. The Commodores would like to prevent the Hyannis lead from growing any further, as Adam Hackenberg, the Clemson catcher, digs in and takes a strike at the knees. 0-1 the count. The windup from Esposito, the 0-1. Similar location and the same result as it's a called strike. 0-2 to Hackenberg. No action in the Commodore bullpen as this is Esposito's inning to start incomplete in the top of the 9th. There is action in the Harbor Hawk bullpen, but tough to see around the corner. Hackenberg lines that one to first. It's picked on a hop, and Malone will step on the bag for out number 1, as he does it himself.
Yeah, Hackenberg, a tough night tonight after coming into this game with a .333 batting average. He's gone 0 for 4 with a line out, fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. Just about every way that you can get out, Hackenberg has done it tonight. Just a slow night for him, hoping he'll be back tomorrow with an even stronger bat.
That'll bring in Mariano Ricciardi with 1 away in the inning. The 1-0 to Ricciardi is a Ball on the outside corner. Pops out of the mid of Smith. Ricciardi on the day is 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base as well as a run scored. He's done a good job, Lincoln, in getting on base in the 9 hole for the top of the order.
Yeah, he has. It's good to have someone someone that you can depend on to get on base near that bottom of the lineup, as we've seen just how important it is to have hitters all throughout your 9.
The windup from Esposito and the pitch as Ricciardi slaps it the other way. It's going to sneak foul off towards the trees down the left field line. The count will move to 2-2.
All right, Austin.
Here comes the hat.
It's been perfect so far.
Let's keep it going.
Here we go.
The windup in the 2-2. Ricciardi grounds it to second. Picked up and thrown to first for out number 2. Nice play over at second there by Curiali.
Yeah,
all good things must come to an end.
Huh? Yeah, the streak comes to an end. I think it's what, 5 for 6 on the night now. Still an outstanding night, and good job, good play there from Curiali, being able to field that ball. A little routine play there from him, but a good second out nonetheless.
That'll bring up the top of the order in Caden Rose as Rose digs in for his 5th at-bat of the night. He's 2 for 4, 2 singles, RBI, stolen base, as Rose is starting to really lead the way in the leadoff spot. 1-1 the count to the Alabama, not a utility player, but can play multiple positions.
Yeah,
he's very versatile. I should say the versatile Alabama.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Good long word there.
Because he can play short, he can play all 3 outfield positions, but definitely very solid at all of them. So I wouldn't necessarily say utility, because he definitely succeeds above average at all positions. That one's in the dirt. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, utility player would be, I can't remember what the guy's name was, but there was one guy a few years back that ended up playing all 9 positions in one game.
Brock Holt didn't, I don't know if he did that for the Sox. Oh, it was a catcher from the Tigers. Was it Romine?
I can't remember, honestly.
Might have been Romine, but Brock Holt was the first really super utility guy. And Red Sox fans became very, very friendly with Holt. They fell in love with him very quickly. And
Rangers fans now falling in love with him as he's been in Texas all season.
Great guy and a great ball player. The 3-2. Rose takes ball 4, so the inning is extended another batter, which brings up the Stetson shortstop, Kyle Ball.
Now, an interesting little tidbit from Brock Holt. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, he actually played at a junior college not half an hour from where I live.
And it was Andrew Romine for the Tigers. I didn't know if it was Austin or Andrew. I knew it was a Romine. I was pretty sure. Played all 9 positions in the game. I mean, for the Tigers, it was a little bit of a gimmick, I think.
Yeah,
they were just, hey, let's get some headlines. But it was still impressive for one guy to be able to. High and away and out of the zone. 2-1 the count. Two away in the inning. Rose gets his lead from first. Esposito looking to not allow the Harborhawks to grow their lead any further from where it is as he picks off or throws a pickoff move to first, and Rose is back in standing. Ballpark's getting a little bit quiet as a lot of the fans have filed out and headed home. Rose is off on the pitch. Ball swings and lines it foul off towards the police station and out of play as the count is 2-2. 2 away in the inning.
Here we go.
Here comes the hat.
Now I get. Okay, hang on. The hat is still 5 for 5 on the night, because the hat only works with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Okay, so we were overusing it a bit earlier.
Yeah,
so
that's why.
Doesn't count
yeah,
it's invalid.
So it's still 5 for 5. Yeah, so it's like the Brewster game. It's invalid now.
All right.
It didn't happen.
The 2-2, ball 3. There
Look
you
at
go.
that. 6 for 6.
All right. The good luck hat coming in handy here in Falmouth as the count to Kyle Ball is full at 3-2. The runner on first is Rose, and there are 2 outs in the inning, which means Rose will be off on the pitch. Esposito, the windup and the pitch is fouled off again towards the police station. The count will hold exactly where it is, so Rose will have to restart from the first base bag.
Yeah, a lot of what could be great souvenirs for these kids turning into repossessed property as they head into the police station parking lot. As we know, that's off limits. So some good little souvenirs for the police officers.
Rose off on the pitch as it skips by the catcher. Smith rose a big turn at second. He thought about it, but it's ball four to ball either way. Kyle Ball draws his second walk of the night, extends the inning. Another batter for Luke Mann, who comes up with runners on first and second with 2 away.
Now batting the third baseman, number 17.
2 outs,
Luke
2 runners
Mann.
put on after that, and as we know, back in the first, we had a little bit of a 2-out rally as all 4 of our runs scored after 2 strikeouts.
Lefty-lefty matchup as Mann, number 17, digs in from that left side of the plate. The shin guard on, the bat up on the shoulder. The first pitch to Mann is high for a ball, 1-0 the count. 2 away in the inning, Lincoln, and the Harbor Hawks would sure like to put another 2-out rally together as they were able to get 4 runs with 2 outs in the first inning.
Yeah, you'd definitely like to have that rally come back here, and if Mann can get on base, we have the big bat of Zane Harris up on deck. But for now, there's a little mound visit with the Commodores.
Esposito's allowed 2 base runners to reach after retiring Hackenberg on a ground out to first and Ricciardi on a ground out to second to start the inning. It's back-to-back walks to Rose and Ball in the 1 and 2 spot, which brings up the 3-hitter Mann, who looks to add on to this Harbor Hawks 5-2 lead here on the top of the 9th.
Mann, as we've seen, he's had a couple of hits so far this season, especially recently. He's hitting .211 on the season so far. He's having a bit of trouble at the plate as he is 0 for 3 on the night with 2 strikeouts and a flyout. He did reach once back in the 8th after being hit by a pitch. So we'll see if he can find a way on this time too.
The 1-0 from Esposito is outside, ball 2, 2-0 the count. 89 miles per hour on the fastball. Good hitters count to get another fastball here, Lincoln, especially with 2 walks in the prior at-bats.
Yeah, and I can't say, and I'm not going to say it yet, but possibly after this one.
The 2-0, and he snaps off a breaking ball for a strike. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect a breaking ball on 2-0 from a lot of pitchers, especially after they've had trouble finding the zone these past couple of at-bats, but a bold decision, and it seemed to work for him.
2-1 the count to Luke Mann. The windup and the pitch, and it's another breaking ball, and he swings over the top of it to even the count at 2 apiece.
Well, being behind in the count 2-0, you definitely wouldn't expect back-to-back breaking balls, but 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The hat comes back out.
2-2, 2 away. Luke Mann looking to put the ball in play. The 2-2 is low for ball 3.
7 for 7.
The count moves to full. 3-2, 2 away. The runners will be in motion on the pitch. It's Rose at second, Ball at first, Mann at the plate. Esposito winds and deals. The 3-2 is popped foul into the woods. The count will hold where it is.
A good little battle coming here from Mann as he's
That slice brought to you by Supreme Pizza, located at 147
he's down. He's up 3-2 right now. He's got to protect the plate with all that he has right now, as they're looking to definitely keep this inning going.
Rose will be in motion from second, Ball from first. The 3-2 once more. Popped foul again, out of play. Same spot as the last one, back into the brush. We'll have to do it again. Good battle brewing here between a lefty pitcher and a lefty hitter. And Esposito and Mann.
Rose and Ball getting themselves a good workout over there as they've had to go on the last 2 pitches. Getting some sprints in. Always like to see a good workout.
Esposito comes set. The payoff pitch awaits. Here's the pitch. Over the top of the breaking ball, and Esposito works himself out of danger. The Harbor Hawks looking to protect a 3-run lead as we head to the bottom of the 9th. The bottom of the 9th inning ready to begin as a new pitcher is on the hill for the Harbor Hawks. It's the right-hander Daniel Lloyd looking to nail down the win and a save if he can do it. Daniel Lloyd from South Carolina.
Number 26, Jonathan.
And here comes a very hot hitter in Jonathan French, who's going to pinch hit as the Commodores get ready to try to come back from this 3-run deficit. Lloyd from South Carolina, Hackenberg the catcher from Clemson. Same page, although they're rivals at their respective schools. On the same team here, looking to snap the Harbor Hawks 6-game losing streak. Jonathan French, the catcher, has hit 2 homers in 2 games versus Hyannis, amongst other hits. He's been incredibly deadly as Lloyd fires a fastball at the knees for strike 2, and he's ahead on the Clemson catcher. French, one of 2 Clemson catchers in this ball game, as Hackenberg's behind the plate right now for the Harbor Hawks. It's 0-2.
Yeah, Lloyd has definitely seen just how lethal French can be, but he's not phased as he's thrown 2 quick strikes to him.
Check swing. Did he go? They'll check it first. No, he did not, says the first base umpire, and it'll be 1-2.
A great little breaking ball there. Almost got French on the check swing, but instead he just had enough willpower to keep it back just a tad.
Lloyd has thrown 2 scoreless innings to this point on the season in 2 appearances. 3 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. Fastball misses, 2-2, the count evens up, 93 on that fastball.
Another good pitch there, just missing on the outside. Might have touched it. I thought it might have touched it just a little bit, but instead it was just a couple inches too far outside.
2-2 the count to the Commodore catcher. Lloyd comes set from the stretch, the pitch.
Beautiful.
Called strike 3 as it's out number 1 as Lloyd sets down French looking.
Oh, and a magnificent breaking ball there. That's the prettiest pitch that I might have seen all night from Lloyd. Holy cow. Fantastic first out to get French.
Anthony Hall digs in with 1 away. Hall is 1 for 3 on the night with a single and a run scored. He's also flown out twice, once to left, once to center. Patch from the left side of the plate as he takes an off-speed pitch below the knees for a ball, 1-0 the count. The 1-0 to Hall. Can't connect on a off-speed pitch as that's going to even the count at 1-1. With 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th inning, Daniel Lloyd looking to lock down the win for the Harbor Hawks, get himself a save. 5-2 the lead. The 1-1 popped up. It's going to sneak out a play into the brush as the count moves to 1-2 to Anthony Hall. Briskly played ball game as well, Lincoln. Didn't seem like it dragged on too long tonight so far.
Yeah, definitely not. We haven't touched the 3-hour mark just yet. Just let's see, what is it? 12 minutes shy?
Count 2-2 as a 94-mile-per-hour fastball misses the zone from Lloyd. Lloyd comes set to 2-2. Called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeout looking. And there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th.
Lloyd did not come to mess around tonight. 2 quick strikeouts and 2 beautiful third strikes. And with 2 away now, Lloyd with a chance for another beautiful strikeout.
Cody Colden.
They'll have to deal with the top of the order now as Cody Colden digs in for the 5th time in the ball game. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. The first pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, 0-1 the count. 92 on the fastball. Lloyd's come out of the bullpen and been solid. Pair of strikeouts so far in the inning. The 0-1 popped foul, and the Commodores are down to their final strike at Gov Fuller Field. 0-2, 2 away in the inning. The Hawks 1 out away from snapping a 6-game losing skid.
Got to hold up the 1. Hold up the 1. 1 more strike. Let's do it.
The 0-2.
Ooh.
Thought about going, but it's a fastball that misses in. 1-2 the count.
That was tempting to him. I know it. He wanted to go, but he was able to hold it back. Oh, I'm anxious. I am anxious. I'm ready to. Oh, one strike. Come on. Come on, baby. Get that strike in there.
1-2 the count from Lloyd. He comes set the pitch. Tapped foul as he reaches for an 82-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and the count will remain where it is at 1-2.
The battle here as Colden is trying to keep them in this game. Lloyd trying to finish off this game and finally break that skid.
Lloyd comes set. The 1-2. Fly ball, right field. Harris is back on it. It's drifting off towards the corner and out of play, so we'll have to do it again. 1-2's the count. Colden putting up a good fight as Daniel Lloyd has come out of the bullpen and struck out the 8-9 hitters for the Commodores looking. He wants to finish off the inning and the ball game. 5-2 the Hawks lead it. 4 in the first, 1 in the fourth. The 1-2. Cut on and miss, and the ball game is over. The losing streak is over, and Hyannis is back in the win column with a 5-2 victory over the Falmouth Commodores on the road. Lincoln, an important win tonight and a big one.
Oh, I'm happy. I am so happy. We beat the Commodores, and oh, look at that. We got some fireworks to finish off the game as well. Firework going off. Even the people away from us are celebrating as the Harbor Hawk losing skid finally comes to an end, and what a way for it to come to an end. Daniel Lloyd striking out the side in order to finish off the game.
Lloyd gets the save and an impressive outing out of the bullpen for Lloyd and Lincoln. Lots of things went well tonight for the Harbor Hawks. We'll get into it more on the Hawk Talk post-game show, so be sure to check that out on YouTube. For our producers, Harrison Meyers and Matthew Noah, for our sideline reporter, Taylor Farmer, and for my broadcast partner, Lincoln Revill, I'm Austin DeCouta. The Hawks are back in the win column. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.
Thank you for showing up to the ballpark today, and have a safe trip home.
He hits that ball well to right field. It is
Adios,
high,
amigo.
It is far, and it is gone.
Holy cow.
Zane Harris crushed that one.
A long drive towards right center field, and it's gone in the trees.
Hit from Braithwaite. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks have defeated the DeCouta Kettleers.
That one is a good long drive towards left field, and gone!
You're listening to the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.